All right, we're here. It's good to be here. I've been thinking about Fred Durst a lot this week.
Dirts?
Yeah, I don't know. Like he's just been on my mind. Like no particular reason, nothing good, nothing bad. Just every so often, just random points of the day. I just think like, what would Fred Durst do?
Well, he's pretty hated on, but I feel like he kind of got to do things that our age group would have loved to have done.
Well, a lot of people got to do things our age group would have loved to done. It doesn't mean they're not dipshits. I don't think he's a dipshit, just for the record. But it's like I don't care. Fuck. I genuinely don't care about like the highs or the lows of any celebrity. Um, but I do sometimes think about Fred Durst.
Did he do anything controversial?
Nothing like, I mean, he was like, oh, he was a stand-in in a porn. He was in the background, but he wasn't like a performer in the porn. But like that's probably the only thing I could think of off top.
Oh, that was just him. That's
Yeah.
his bucket list.
And like I think well he was a pizza guy because he had on the fake mustache. I was like okay. I remember though that was a big deal. It was like oh my god he was in the porn. Like well he wasn't like a performer in the porn. He was just the pizza guy walking by. So but like the get naked video, everybody got naked except for him. So you know maybe he's just got.
Man, you can't get naked next to Tommy Lee.
I mean at this point I don't care because you know why everybody's looking at him anyway. So I'm not worried. Like, oh my god, you're nowhere near his size. Like, and like, if a dude says that, it's like, why are you looking at my dick, dude?
Do you know who Theo Von is?
Yeah.
The comedian. He had some.
Oh no, the guy from Road Rules. That's Theo
Yeah.
Vaughn. I know Theo. Yes, he was on Road Rules.
And those challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I think he hates being known for that now. I think he's probably a little bit more well known
pretty
as a
good.
comedian at this point. But
Oh yeah, no,
um,
like I don't think anyone can like.
'cause I
Straight
even
up say,
forget that he's on Road
like,
Rules.
oh yeah, Theo from Road Rules. Like, no, the comedian. Like, yeah, I mean, people know him as a comedian. I just like whenever I remember someone from some old shit, I was like, oh no, like, Christina P. No, she was on Road Rules second season. No, trust me, I remember.
I think so. Yeah, he says some outlandish, ridiculous things. But I think he said when he was a kid, they played this game. It was like to see if you're gay or not, and you each hold each other's dick, and if one person gets hard, that means you're gay.
I
And I
kind
was
of
like,
feel
what kind
like
of game is that?
you've already gone down a dark path. Just saying, hey, let's play this game is like
Can you imagine? Like, oh, you're hard, you're gay.
was like the fucking soggy biscuit game. It's like who volunteers for that game?
What's that game?
You never heard of the fucking
I
soggy
don't know
biscuit?
the soggy biscuit.
Like I'm sorry, you got to hear this. Like you ain't even got to Google it. It's basically a group of dudes standing around a fucking biscuit, or sometimes call it a soggy cookie, and they jerk off, and the last one to fucking come on it has to eat it.
What the fuck kind of game is that?
Yeah, that's what I said when I first heard it. I was like, why? Why would anyone play that? There was there was some video though, Sarah just sent. Some guy was talking about it. He was like in an interview or some shit, and he starts talking about it. He was like, "Well, no, we're not gay or anything." And then he describes it. He was like, and then I think he goes, maybe that does sound kind of gay, doesn't it? I was like, I don't know if it's gay or not, but it is really, really suspect, homie. It's just probably don't want to talk about that in an interview. Number one and number two, you probably just don't want to play it. I just feel like that's probably the best bet. Don't look if you're sitting around with your homies. There's other things to do besides play soggy biscuit. Like I don't know, paper scissors rock, get a deck of cards, play spades, old maid. I don't know, push up challenges, anything. Like there's so many different things, except for that. Like and then one group of guys said, "Hey, I got a game." That's one of those things where it's like, why? Like if let's say there's five, not one out of those five said, "Hey, this was probably a bad idea." Like.
I actually gotta go home.
Because it's like, it's like the person who's last is like, this is really actually a bad idea. I'm going to go ahead and head home now. I'm going to pass it down to this guy. He was the last one to go.
And then, if you're first, does that mean you were the most excited?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, but that's the thing is like, if you're the last dude, it's like, do you keep going? You just like, that it's over.
Then that dude might, but maybe that means he's the most straight too, because he
Maybe,
couldn't finish.
maybe, or
But then
maybe
he's got the worst punishment.
maybe he
Damn.
jerked off earlier, like 20 minutes before they got there, and like he's just like
Because if you were
all
in,
out. I don't
dang,
know.
this episode is starting off real wrong.
Happy birthday!
Good thing
that's
we're not famous.
it's the birthday episode
Oh
for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dante,
So
and
Tuesday,
that's
right?
how we're gonna start this shit off. Yeah, yeah, I guess we can say Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday. I remember someone asked me that. They were like, "Do you know what "See you next Tuesday" stands for?" And I never ever heard the phrase, but like just listen to the. I was like,
Yeah,
"See?"
I
was
I
like,
didn't know
I'm
about
pretty
it
sure
till
it's
the
cunt.
job we
Yeah,
worked at, but I figured it out real quick. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was a thing. They're like, you don't know what it means? I was like, well, now I do. I mean, I can figure it out.
yeah. It wasn't hard.
Yeah, I
Like
didn't know that was a thing.
someone said it, and I was like, feel like that's cunt. And they're like, it is. How'd you know? I was like, I'm not a retard. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, it's a cunt. Like you.
Well, I think I said it on here before, maybe, but our old friend thought LMAO was lick my asshole. And I was like, but what about the
But
the O? And he's like, that's the hole.
no, but that's clever.
Yeah.
He thought he had a different way of thinking.
And all these years, though, every time someone was sending him that's what he thought it meant. He just thought everyone was just saying that to each other.
Yo, could you imagine the first time he saw that? The confusion in his brain when he put it together. It was like, what? Why would someone say that
He
to
had
me?
a lot of things he misheard or like. Well, he used to make up his own acronyms too, which were hilarious. The NHD, I was like, I mean, I figured out what that one was with him, but then other people be like, "What's that?" No, he didn't. I like actually using the NHD now.
Ugh. That dude just there was a different wavelength going on in his brain, and I don't know, man. Like,
The song lyric stuff was hilarious. What he thought he heard, and then just went along with it, not thinking like this makes no sense.
I think that's like, I mean, well, when we're younger with songs, I think that
There's
was just
definitely some. I think I made up my own words of mishearing some things.
that's how I ended up just like when I started writing. That's why I started writing because I couldn't understand some songs, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make up my own words for the entire song. So I don't know. I mean, it happens, but that's when we were younger. He was a grown man.
Yeah, I remember too the Craig Mack "Flavor in Your Ear" when it says "I fit in your stomach" with was it eggs and grits between something like that. He said when he was saying, he said the egg and crisp, and I was like, "Did you just say egg and crisp?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What is an egg and crisp?" And he's like, "It's a breakfast sandwich."
It
Like,
doesn't.
he ate what it was. I was
It
like,
doesn't
"Oh."
not make sense though. I mean,
It was kind of saying the same thing.
well, the thing is when
Egg and crisp.
like the things that he would like kind of hear, like it made sense for it to be
The other
that.
one I can remember off the top of my head was the Cypress Hill song when the chorus goes Cypress Hill, Cypress Hill. He was like, "This fight's for real. This fight's for real." And I was like, "Do you?" And then it dawned on me. I was like, "Do you think it's saying this fight's for real?" He's like, "Yeah, this." And I was like, "It's saying Cypress Hill."
Good lord!
This fight for real. Yo, that song took on a whole new meaning for him. This fight for real. That was a serious song that he was hearing.
Dude, like his brain's one of the kind of brains that you just want to see what's going on in there. And sometimes there's some brains you're just like, maybe not.
He
Maybe
did
not.
do the freestyle at that bar. Well, he didn't freestyle. He sang the wrong song.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say.
then said, they hated my freestyle." Like, nah, you sang. What did he sing? Oh, he sang Brian Brown, Leroy Brown, when it was the Bohemian Rhapsody breakdown part. They passed him the mic and he said, "Brown, Brown, Leroy Brown, the baddest man in the whole damn town." Then he got booed. And then later said, "Yo, they hated my freestyle."
I guess it's like, dude, relax.
I like the freestyle. I like the song he was singing. You just can't do it during the breakdown part of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, that's like a sacred song. You can't like don't do that. Like you do it in almost any other song. You do it on that one, you might get jumped. I don't know.
the,
Yeah, chill.
the booing was hilarious.
I'm only thinking about Malibu's Most Wanted.
Oh yeah.
Like,
He's like y'all. What he's like. What do you say? I say Mally. Y'all say boo. And he's like
Melly,
Mally, and it's like boo, the biggest
boo.
boo.
Yeah.
That's a underrated, bad but good movie.
It's one of those movies where it's like I watch
It
it
has a charm.
and it's like it's so bad that it's good,
Yep.
and I can't not watch it. But then we watched Kicking It Old School, and I was like, I was hoping to get the same charm from Malibu's Most Wanted, and it just didn't feel
Yeah, the
right.
whole premise of Kicking the Old School is just wild. This dude was in a coma from a breakdancing injury. What, he wakes up like now he's an adult,
Yeah,
and then he needs to get his crew back together and do some. Is it to win the girl back?
yeah.
Something
Well,
wild.
it's a contest, but I, so movies like that always get me. Like when I see movies like that, it's like where you have the one like female lead, the pretty girl everybody likes, and she's dating the absolute piece of shit jerk, and it's like, and you think about it, it's like that can't be real, but you've seen that in real life, and then you get really confused by it because it's like, how is that even a thing? Like, well, in real life I've seen it, but the girl was also kind of a cunt, so it's like it kind of makes sense. But in the movies when they do it, it's like the girl is really nice and the guy's just a complete piece of shit. That doesn't add up. Like, was the fucking Johnny Knoxville movie The Ringer? Um,
That's right up our alley.
that shit's an American classic. If people if people hate that movie, that's the thing. Like movies like that, it's like, well, you can't make that anymore. Yeah, you can. Just I don't know, get a film crew and a cast. You can make the movie.
Probably won't be released in theaters, but
It
it's
just
fine.
won't be well received by general audiences, but you'll have a group of
Yeah,
retards that'll love it.
it'll be on was it Rotten Tomatoes? The critic score will be terrible, but then the audience score might be high.
Well, that is the case. I am certain that is the case. I'm pretty sure Rotten Tomatoes, it's a solid, let's say, 12%, but the audience score is probably 64 or 69.
Was he Jimmy?
Yeah.
Jimmy? Yeah.
Wait,
What
is
was
it Jimmy or
no Jimmy's? Is that the star
Yeah,
one?
that's the star. I think his name is it Jeffy?
Jeffy.
I think it's
It makes it more.
yeah, like, and I like apples.
I think Jimmy might be this. Is he the star one?
Yeah, he's the superstar that they were betting on to win the Special Olympics. Like
Dang,
how
doubt it. DraftKings is like legal in Maryland. They do have like, I mean, you could bet on like everything,
like
like prop bets, like who scores first in the NBA. Like, I wonder if they started doing that. It would be nah. There's no way they can do special and big betting.
why not?
It would increase the interest though.
I mean, I would.
Well, I think did we talk about it here? But that was a comedian's. That was his bit. He was like, "Can you imagine the person that came up with the Special Olympics?" And it was like,
Yeah.
"Yo, we should." Never mind. We're gonna get banned on.
Well, no. Either we talked about it, or I think you sent me a video.
Yeah,
I might have reposted.
I think we
it.
posted it on Colompton. But it is hilarious. So who came up with that? It's like, why don't we race them?
I'm looking at the cast, and like the thing is, it's like, all right, I know some of them are not, does not have, some of them don't have Down syndrome, but then there are others you look at as like, okay, like I can't tell if this one does or doesn't, but I know this one for sure does on the left or right, or like that far end,
Oh,
yeah, for sure, that definitely, but then. Like this dude was in barbershop. I know that he doesn't. No, then again, maybe he was. He was in barbershop. Um, but there are a couple guys. I was like, I don't know that he might actually have Down syndrome until I saw him somewhere else. I was like, oh, maybe not. But it's an American classic. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. The Ringer, Johnny Knoxville, Katherine Heigl.
might be the first people that endorsed the Ringer.
I'm sure Johnny Knoxville endorsed his own fucking movie.
Dang, we should now Johnny Knoxville. You gotta come on.
Like, yeah, and bring your pretend ball
He
with
probably
you.
wouldn't recommend.
I mean, well, it's like when you know talk about Tropic Thunder, there are people now talking about that. Like, yeah, I mean, it was a funny movie, but I don't know if we can really go back and like recommend it because Robert Downey Jr. is in blackface the entire movie. And I was like, look, man, that movie was funny as shit.
That's the thing. They were doing that to be funny.
And fucking Ben Stiller's Simple Jack. I mean, come on, dude. You can't say that fucking movie wasn't funny.
Thunder was wild. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I was reluctant to watch it. I didn't even want to watch it at first. I was just like, "Fuck this!" Like they were like, because I guess the trailers. There was nothing in the trailers that really appealed to me. I was like, I have no interest in this. You know, this ensemble cast, blah blah blah. And then Mario loved it. He just wouldn't shut, which then made me not want to watch it more. I was like, nah, since you like it so much, I want to hate on it now. And then a video store nearby here, like, because we were still in Severn, and I remember the store was going out of business, so we drove up there, and all the movies were like $1. Tropic Thunder was like $1. I was like, why the fuck not? Came back home and watched it. I was like, yo, this shit is phenomenal.
It's been a while for me now, so I think I gotta rewatch that.
Yes, you absolutely do. Like, you always have to rewatch it.
This week, well, Bea she falls asleep during movies at home quite a bit.
That's what women do.
So I was trying to get her to watch White Man Can't Jump. She was liking it, and then there was parts like I had
Obviously
forgotten.
not enough.
Yeah, towards the end, it does get a little like the love story part's a little ridiculous.
A little gay.
Yeah, but the basketball scenes are actually pretty good. But yeah, I'm remaking White Man Can't Jump. I can't imagine it's gonna be any good because some of what made that movie good was some of the other characters, like the dude who goes to his car to get his gun. I don't know if you remember that scene, but first he tries to rob the liquor store, and they know who he is. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
It's those characters, but yeah, it's kind of a wild story. Now that I was thinking, I was like, "Damn, this girl's on Jeopardy."
Well,
This dude just. Well, the one dude reminds me of our old friend. I think you'll know who he is.
oh,
Rhymes with span, but like just continues to fuck up. Because like that dude gets himself out of debt, then just bets it all, and he bets it all on the dunk at the end. I'm just like, oh my god, this guy's got a problem.
I think the thing is with movies like that too, and then like movies like that, movies like House Party, Point Break, all the like great movies we grew up on, and then they try to remake them for a new generation.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not even
I
that
heard
they're
they remade a house party. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I saw the
Yeah, the
trailer because
trailer.
LeBron was in it, or they're like they sneak into his closet or something.
yeah, something
He
goofy.
does make fun of himself about. I guess some hologram came on. He's like,
Yeah.
that press conference for Miami was a good idea, or something like that.
Like the thing is, it's like when they try to redo things for a new generation, it's not even just that they're trying to redo it for a new generation. It's almost like they're trying to do it in a way that it fits that this day's narrative, and hopefully it's like, oh, maybe we can erase any like offensive stuff that took place in the previous one. I mean, and the thing is, it's like, no. As a matter of fact, how about just don't do it? Let's not fucking forget what's come. Because let's say Ace Ventura, Ace Ventura. Now, I'll be honest, I've never ever seen that movie. I've never seen any of Jim Carrey's earlier movies.
He plays a similar character in different situations.
Yeah, I know. That's why I haven't seen it. I was never really a Jim Carrey fan, like, but I never saw Ace Ventura. But you know, there's always the talk about, oh well, you can't do that now because you know the trans character and da 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 is transphobic. So you know, should we ban that movie? And I was like, well, no, because I mean, and I'm not saying no because you know, oh no, we got to keep making fun of trans people. No, but you have to know where you've come from. You got to see how far you've come. I was like, you know, in you know the mid '90s, it was okay. And fuck, even the early 2000s, it was okay to like make a fucking silly movie like that, and think it's you know okay, this is gonna stand the test of time. Really, like you think that? Just like the what's the one town in Ohio or Indiana called Peking, Peking, because I guess the ideal was it was on the exact opposite side of the world of Beijing. So they're like, oh, this is an honor to, you know, China. And they had a high school there. You want to guess what their mascot was?
Dragon.
Well, it is now. They definitely had to change this one. And even up to 2005, someone was still upset that they changed it from chinks to dragons. And, it's like shit like that. You don't want to, like, erase the ideal that shit like that was going on. Governor DeSantis does. But, other people shouldn't want to erase, the bad history. You got to know that it was there because you're destined to repeat it if you act like, oh, well, no, that's having your school mascot called the Chinks is a good idea. So much of a good idea that they had each year. They would nominate one male and one female as like the Chink representative, and I'm willing to bet that no Chinese people lived in the area. Like it sounds like there were none. But shit like that has to, not be forgotten. Now that's not to say, hey, let's change that mascot back so that way we don't forget it.
And it's still crazy on the Facebook how almost every single Washington Commanders post, I'd say almost 50% of the comments are still people saying they'll always be the Redskins. Like, yo, give it up. And then a few people just, I find it hilarious. So people like, yo, they're not the Redskins anymore. Deal with it. Like, I'm over it. Like, I maybe early on I was like, oh, it sucks to change your name. Like, I'm good. You know what? It did nothing. When they changed the name, it didn't impact anything. Except I may have bought a Commanders jersey and maybe the new owner changes the name again. I would. So it'll just go in my collection of Washington jerseys that I can't wear.
It's like
I thought I was real safe getting Terry McLaurin this year. Next year we're gonna be back to the Red Wolves or something.
well, that's the thing. It's like, initially it's tough because it's just a name change, so you have to get used to calling the team a new name. But at the end of the day, it's like if you're clinging on to, you know, a name that people are like, hey, that's offensive. I think one of the arguments was like, well, the person who made drew the logo, they're not offended by it.
And Native Americans in general weren't. Like they did a lot of surveys, and in general, it was like the great majority were not. They saw it as an honor, but at the same time, it's like that name wasn't all that tight. Like it's fine. We move on.
I mean,
When I saw the logo originally, I always thought of the quarter. Like,
yeah, true.
like
Well, and I don't know. Just looking at it, it's like, who cares? It's a fucking sports team.
yeah. I mean, I'm over that name. The name change. That's it. I just want to be good.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to say, it's like, look, if the Lions had to change their name to something to be like a relevant team and win a championship, fucking change it. If they want to be the fucking Seals, do it. Hey, I'll get a jersey. Like I'm
Killer
in.
Seals. That would be tight.
The Killer Whales.
Yeah, I'm surprised there is no Killer Whales team that I know of. That's
I mean,
good.
we got the Dolphins.
Yeah, they could have been the Miami Killer Whales.
Oh, that would have been
way
tight.
better. They would have way better uniform.
Yo, like, who's the asshole who
The
said
Dolphins
that
are like the
Dolphins
softest sounding team in the league.
they're rapists though. Like so, maybe that's why they did it. They're like, oh, we're gonna scare the shit out of them. How? Well, we're gonna get them in the water and rape them. Like
I
what?
still say we should have been the friggin' Washington Murder Hornets.
Okay, it's a little aggressive.
Hey, the
like
Murder
West
Hornet.
Hills.
They take out what? Those bees were taking out.
They're like
I think
decapitating.
one of them would take out an entire hive by decapitating the entire beehive.
Love it.
But this day and age, you'd be like, oh, that's too violent. Murder Hornets.
It's too violent. I mean,
You got the Wu-Tang Killer Bees. Wu-Tang could be affiliated.
I don't.
There's so
think,
much stuff you could do.
I don't think they would have. I think they would have like, nah, you guys suck. Dan Snyder's to your owner fucking sucks. We're out of here.
Well, it's not Bezos. I think. No, it's rumored like Bezos, maybe Jay-Z's involved.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of the way to go. Is like with a group of people, and just say, let's fucking buy.
I think
a team.
Matthew McConaughey was maybe one.
All
He's
right,
known
all
as
right,
a
all
Washington.
right.
They better have that on the like we scored. All right, all right, all right.
Uh, I look,
I know
man.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was a big Washington fan, but I don't think he was rumored.
Well, now he's not. I'm sure he's like, what? They changed from Redskins too? Fuck him. Like he always strikes me.
He seemed always actually like pretty progressive.
I
Like
was, yeah, he strikes me as the kind of guy. He's probably got a black girlfriend.
yeah, he
Like
was not very old school NASCAR as you. Maybe.
no, but I
Yeah,
think
because I think he liked hip hop and stuff.
that doesn't really mean a whole lot though. I know some white dudes that like hip hop, but mm,
I wonder why he liked Washington. Well, I grew up in North Carolina because North Carolina was a fan base of Washington before they had the Panthers.
I mean, also just given the period too. I mean, it's like you pick teams that are like recognizable and they're winning. You know, like I couldn't see him saying, I'm a Seahawks fan. Like like back then, I mean, the last thing
You know,
you wanted to
Steve
be
Largent.
affiliated with was like the fucking Seahawks or the Bucks in the fucking sherbet uniforms. Ugh,
Yeah, those are the all-time worst.
yeah, fucking gross.
But now I bet they'd be popular now because those fluorescent colors are kind of in.
Well, no, Green Bay has some shitty like throwback jerseys, and so did
Pittsburgh did when they had
Pittsburgh
those
and
stripes.
Chicago. Yeah, all fucking
Looked
garbage.
like they were prisoners.
Because they were.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's wild. The old uniforms. There's dang. If you had the future designs back then, you'd be blowing people away. I always think about this of like way back in the old days of like how bland food must have been of like when ketchup came out of like how blown away you must have been to have ketchup.
there was that one. I think I mentioned it on here before. It was a Netflix series. It's a Stephen King story. I think it's called 1963. I believe it's basically James Franco traveling back in time to try to stop Kennedy's assassination. But one of the real takeaways from the movie that I grabbed was there's this diner sitting in a spot, and that's where kind of the portal is. And the owner of the diner, he was aware of it, so he'd go back in time and get ground beef from the '60s. And everyone loved the burgers there because it's like, oh my god, the burgers taste so fresh. Like, where do you get your meat from? It's like it's my secret. Which that's not some shit you want to hear when somebody's making burgers and they talk about it's a secret because there's homeless people around that just go disappearing and suddenly you got these really yummy burgers. I don't know, man. I'd be a little suspect there, but um, I always think about like whenever I watch that, I always think about that. I was like, damn, that would be weird to like go back grab some food. Like, it does taste different. Like, ugh.
Because I remember I mean, the old days of food, like things probably pretty bland or just they didn't have much variety. It'd be like a bunch of stews and bread on the side. But like, imagine if the first time you had a French fry, like yo, game changer. What is this? It's just delightful potato
It was like the ideal of
with salt.
like when McDonald's came about, and then they start introducing different things like the quarter pounder, the Big Mac. Oh, then I mean, I'm sure you've seen a story about A&W. They tried to introduce the one
Third
third
pounder.
burger.
Americans were too dumb. They thought a third was less than a quarter. That's one fourth.
Yo, why are we this way? like, like we can't have nice things, yo. Like I was sitting there at work yesterday, looking at like because at work, what else do I have to do but Google weird shit? So I was like looking at Celsius versus Fahrenheit.
Yo, where we need to change to the rest of the world though. Celsius and especially the metric system is way
Yeah,
easier.
yeah.
Uh,
Like I was just looking at all the stuff. I was like, well, Celsius and Fahrenheit is just like, oh, zero is freezing. That makes sense.
yeah, ours is 32.
Like that's
Why?
just super random.
Everything about like inches, you gotta start reducing fractions when you're adding the shit up, or you could just say 1.3,
Well,
easy.
my friend in Madrid, whenever like we'll talk about her training or getting ready for a competition, when we start talking about weight, and she converts it to pounds like very easily. I mean, she's really smart, so I guess she probably has her fucking phone out, but she's like very quick on it. Like talk about the weight, and I'm like, dude, that's like really cool. It was like how tall are you? And that's why I tripped her up. She was like,
Yeah, that's another thing. Super weird to only America, where we say feet and inches, and then we have yards. What the fuck is that shit?
I remember watching Lost, and I was pointing out to Sarah, I was like, it's weird that everyone's talking about kilometers. It's like, well, you got to think, like, they're coming from Australia. There are a lot of different nationalities on that plane. So only here in America are we, do we use miles? I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
And it's an old, like, yeah, I mean, it's not easy, especially the inches, because you're doing fractions and stuff. But I always wonder if, like, I wish it'll probably eventually happen, but I wish we had some kind of standardized world group that just decides certain things. It's gonna be. I think it's maybe we're past the point of no return for certain things because it's
yeah.
like, can we make the world all drive on the same side of the road? Why do we gotta have the other side of the road thing?
Because we want to be different. That's all.
But
We
I mean,
like,
you know what I mean? This is like, let's fix that. Let's get standardized math. Like, let's all switch to the metric system. It's obviously easier and it makes more sense. We don't need yards and feet and all
so
this other
that's the
stuff.
one that pissed me off. I was looking at that yesterday. I was like, why? Why are we doing this way? Like, this is so fucking dumb, and I'm over it right now. My manager just looked at me like, "Are you gonna be okay?" I was like, "No, I don't think that I'm gonna be okay at all because none of this shit makes sense." But I think too, if you say like, "Hey, we should have like a global system that we should all be on," it's gonna come with that. You're gonna have conspiracy theories like, "No," because next thing you know, they're gonna have us all centralized, and then they're gonna have our identities, and it's like, dog, I'm just trying to get us to all drive on the same side of the road. It's not that hard. So
Yeah, imagine. So, like, cars got to make the European version with the steering wheel on the other side.
you know why they drive that way?
Who was it first? I mean, I feel
Europe.
like they were. So we're the
Well,
ones driving on the wrong side.
like why they do it that way though?
No.
'Cause, jousting, like riding a horse, like because most people the right hand was the dominant hand. So if you're, riding your horse this way, and you've got your joust thing, I don't remember what it's fucking called. Spear. That seems right. Let's call it a spear. Joust spear. In your right hand. So that's why they're always on that side of the road. And I was like, I guess that makes sense, but we don't do that shit no more. So what are we
Yeah.
doing? Like, quit being
Yeah,
fucking
it's like
stupid.
super different. And then one thing though, I don't know if this gets you, but it weirds me out when people walk around the lake the wrong way
It fucks with
because
me.
it's always counterclockwise in every sport,
Hmm.
NASCAR, track. You never run this way around. So it's like when you're walking around the lake that way around, it weirds me out. I feel like
So
it's the wrong way.
whenever
So
I
like
used to
counterclockwise is the normal way.
whenever I used to run the lake, I would always try to determine the hill because you have to remember
Yeah, that's true. No,
at the end of that run, you got that big ass hill to run up. So which hill do you want to fight?
yeah, Lake Elkhorn had the super steep one or the long gradual one.
Yeah.
I,
And
I usually chose the long gradual
yeah, the
one.
long gradual one was the way to go because like if you start like because we'd always start at the pavilion and then
Yep.
just kind of go from there. But then when you have to end, you have to realize like shit, I got to run up that hill. But it's better to run up that hill than that other hill. It was just fucking monstrous. I
Yeah,
took
that thing
Sophie.
was super steep.
We walked around the lake a few weeks back, and as we're going down that hill, and I showed her, I was like, yeah, when it would snow, we would come over here and go down this hill. She was like, but there's the lake right there. I was like, it was just a risk that we had to live with. Like no one went in the
Yeah,
water,
I
but
just took Bea to that lake recently, and I was like, we used to jump down to the dam part all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Now there's all these signs to keep off, and I was like, I don't know if they were there. We definitely didn't. I mean, I remember us just sitting there sometimes, just talking. Like we'd
Yeah,
just be like chilling there.
because it was like just kind of a chill place. You just go down there on the dam, or went for PE at the middle school. We'd walk, and it's like, okay, if you get ahead of the teacher, you just run across the dam. I'm like, all right. Which, on one note of it, though, it seemed like, oh, ha, 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 we beat the system, but in reality, did you though? You're just doing it to be a dick.
Yeah,
That's all.
we're exercising. I remember the same thing happened in Coach Walker's class, but on the track, we had to run a mile. As soon as like he looked down, everyone just took off across the field, shortcutted.
Um,
That was some funny times.
who was
Yeah, we had some 3-minute miles.
there was DJ. I remember he tried to walk across the dam and just fell and slid down. But I also seen DJ just jump into the fucking lake and just go swimming like that shit was
I
cool.
saw someone go in that lake not too long, like 2-3 years ago.
Ugh.
A whole family, and I was like, the way they came down the path. I imagine they moved to a townhouse in the area, walked down thinking, oh, there's a lake you can swim in because there's no sign at that particular spot. But it was like a mom and 3 kids, and they were all like swimming in the lake, and I was just like, she definitely does not know you cannot swim in Lake Elkhorn.
It's like
Like it's been years since you could swim in Lake Elkhorn. It's been toxic for a long time.
it's like you see them jumping. It's like, oh, y'all motherfuckers are definitely not from here. You have to be from fucking Arkansas. Just that's the only thing that makes sense.
It does look a little better than it used to because there was one point Lake Elkhorn looked real bad.
It still kind of looks bad, but yeah, it was worse back then. I remember when DJ jumped in. I've never seen a security guard or anything walk in the lake ever. DJ jumped in the water, and seconds later, a fucking park ranger or some bullshit pops up and is like, "Hey, you got to get out of there." And I'm still convinced to this day that that was a figment of our imagination, because there's I've never ever seen a fucking park ranger around this motherfucking like chasing Yogi Bear and fucking Boo Boo for picnic baskets. Like I've never ever seen it other than that one
I
time.
do believe I fell in that lake. I
Hell,
went to the summer camp there a few times, and the canoe someone purposely tipped it over. So like I think I
gross,
went in the water with a life jacket and then
gross,
immediately crawled out.
gross. Like that's weird. Like my grandparents never put me in camps. Like,
I would go to
well,
like one session. You know, they'd be like 2 weeks a session because
yeah.
Columbia's expensive as hell. Because you can only, if you do pay, you gotta pay for only 2 weeks at a time. So it'd be like, I guess, middle school age. No, I think it was elementary school age. Is I would go one, just one session a year. Um, that was a good camp. That was maybe the only camp I liked. And it's funny. I met some people back then of like that later we knew and yeah, 'cause it had to be elementary school.
Well, no. Um, when I got here, yeah, my grandparents didn't put me in anything. Like when I was in Delaware, I was in Boy Scouts and I went to summer camp twice. One year, like I actually had to get sent home because I was having asthma attacks, which now we look back and I was like, it was probably panic attacks. Because I was always the weird kid. Whenever teams, like kids would pair up, I was always the odd man out. Even still to this day, even like in jiu-jitsu, whenever we got uneven numbers, I'm always like the odd one out. Like, fuck y'all, yo. I gotta go to class in the morning. Now I'm mad. But I remember this one year at summer camp, everybody had a tent buddy except for me. And you know I love me some Friday the 13th. Wasn't a good time to watch that before going to summer camp, and I was in a camp or I was in a tent by myself. And it wasn't like like the newer tents where they like zipped up and shit. These were like the old school like heavy canvas flap tents. So we had to have mosquito nets, and I didn't get a mosquito net, and I'm just sitting there in the middle of the night getting eaten up by mosquitoes. Can't sleep. It's hot as fuck. So I started hyperventilating. So they sent me to the infirmary. Cool. Got to sleep in the bed. I was straight. Next night, business as usual, same thing. Then they just called my grandparents like, yo, y'all gotta come get him. We ain't doing this every night. But then I went the next year. Good time, fun time. The kid, Patrick Marini, that I smacked on one of our campouts, me and him were buddies. And it worked out. I didn't have to smack him this time. I wanted to, but I didn't have to. I remember when I smacked him one time, his dad like cornered me and was like, if you put your hands on my kid again, I'm gonna put my hands on you. I was like, I don't care. But I was like, I was a fucking lunatic,
Like, ew, you gonna put your hands on a kid?
So there was another scoutmaster that because we were in scouts in the 90s, like what it was like 91, 90 or 91, and the divinals I touched myself came out, and I remember like we were fucking little kids, we don't know what that song is, but we're screaming that song at the top of our lungs. And one of the scoutmasters, he goes, if y'all don't shut up, I'm gonna come in there and touch you. And I remember going, ew, like really loud. Then I got quiet as shit. I was like, I don't want him coming in here. Like I don't even know what might happen. But the good old days.
So I believe that camp at Lake Elkhorn was called Nature Camp, and I liked that one. But later I had to go to this one. It was at some. It was kind of like a semi-religious camp, but it was like one of those teen adventure camps. And my grandmother always helped pay for it. It was the same situation where I got to go like one session a year, but I wasn't feeling this one at all because I only would like perk up when we played football and basketball. Then I'm like all in. I'm like having fun. But like one is because we didn't live that close. It was in that Fulton area,
Oh yeah,
where that Lido's is. The Fulton, what was that called? It was called like the Station House Lido's or something.
like yeah, out there near Maple Lawn and
Yeah.
shit like that.
So it was kind of a drive. So and my mom worked in like the Bethesda area, so even further. So I'd have to get there super early. The aftercare is nothing but like kids. Like the teenagers are coming like more at the time of the camp starts. So I'm just sitting there, nothing to do, and then the aftercare, 3.5 hours of just like waiting, and I got no one to play basketball with, nothing. 'Cause it's all little kids in the at that point. But I feel bad. Is like I just wasn't feeling because we did do the singing that they do for like camp, and it's somewhat religious. So like a big one was this little light of mine song. I was not feeling it. Everyone's doing the little dance, and I'm just sitting in the back like
Yeah,
mad face. Like
y'all can fuck off.
they're like, you don't want to participate? Nah. I'm not feeling this at all. I'm not. I'm into rap. I don't. And this was like the beginning because I'm a teenager, like just becoming a teenager. Like I'm in my gangster rap phase. I'm not trying to sing no this little light of mine.
I was in youth group at the church. What sucked is that I was like kind of used as the recruiter because like they're like, oh, Dante's charismatic, he can get people to come in, and I was getting like even the kids in the church, I was able to get them to go along with it. And man, that sucked. I remember we went to the beach, and I think who came with us, Leo, who was Jewish, and I feel like someone else came with us. We went down to the beach because I was basically like, look, if I'm gonna go to the beach with this youth group, I'm bringing my people. I'm not just going down there. Man, sometimes you just can't take certain people on a church trip to the beach because they don't know how to act. Like sitting up there ordering pizza and just run. Well, I mean, I was part of it too, but Lel initiated it. All right, he started eating pizza. He was like, yo, this pizza tastes like plastic. He was like, I'm not paying for this. I was like, that's a good idea. And Ben was like, I'm not paying either. So like our waiter came in, and Ben was like, as soon as like the waiter came walked by, Ben was like, I'm leaving. I was like, look, I didn't think it was going to be serious. I was like, well, we'll end up paying. And Ben got up and walked out. We're like, huh. Okay, well, if this guy comes back and asks, we'll just say he's in the bathroom. So the guy walks back by. Everything okay here? Yep, everything's okay. Pizza's barely touched. He went back in the kitchen. Lel jumped up. I ran behind Lel and like pushed him like a fullback, just like running out, barreling through people, just took off up the boardwalk. I guess Lel like dropped his sunglasses because someone ended up chasing Lel down to give him the sunglasses, but we thought it was someone from the restaurant chasing us down. Like we're like, oh shit, pick up the pace. But it's like shit like that. That's the only reason why I would go on any of those activities is because I could bring my friends. And my church was like, oh, he's good for recruiting like his friends to come along for these church trips. It's like, yeah, because I want to be with my friends and have fun. I don't want to like talk about. And I guess we never really like did anything Bible-y or any shit like that. It was just like,
You didn't sing this little light of mine.
fuck no. I think they knew. They knew that wasn't gonna happen. I think it's like they saw me. I was like, this dude's not trying to sing. And then they saw Lel. They're like, pretty sure he's Jewish. And then they looked at Ben. Was like, nope, not gonna happen. I think there was one time I think Charles and Marcus came with me to another trip, and it was just like we went to Rehoboth, and they're like, why don't we just go to Ocean City? And my pastor didn't really have an answer. It was like, no, we're going to Rehoboth. But in retrospect, when you look at it, it's like, well, it's probably more family friendly than Ocean City, especially at the time. So it worked
I don't
out.
think I've ever been to Rehoboth. I've heard it's nice.
It's pleasant.
Is that the one? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad, but it's known to be.
Oh, with the
Yeah.
homosexuals, probably. I don't know. I've heard things, but I mean, I
So it's
was younger.
probably like not as big of a deal as people made it sound. I always heard Rehoboth was one of the better and nicer
It
beaches,
was
but
nice.
I enjoy Ocean City. I kind of like those old shitty hotels for some reason. There's a charm to them. It just reminds me of beer bongs. And the last time I went, I stayed in one of the cheaper hotels, and I was just like, something about the cheaper hotels.
Well,
I don't
because
like
it's
being
cheaper.
super comfortable though. It's just like something's funner to me about it.
Well, I mean, there's a time and place for it, though. It's like we're gonna probably next February go to Disney, so obviously, yeah, let's stay in something nice. But if I'm saying, hey, let's go. Well, if I go anywhere with my family, we're gonna stay in something nice because it's the family. But if I'm going with friends, it's like, look, let's find the best deal possible. Like, it just
Yeah,
really
I like the
make it worth our
look
time.
70s, but if it's got a kitchen table so we can play some games, even better.
I mean, like, I'm all about, yeah, just yeah, the cheaper the better because there is a thing. There's an adventure to it. Whereas if you get like a nice place, I mean, again, for family, I'm gonna do that
Yeah, it
because
makes sense for family.
they're and also they're not really. Look, you and I both know my wife isn't necessarily built for the life. You know, it's like we go out and we party a certain way, and she's not built for that. So she wants to go and be comfortable. Whereas me, I'm okay with going out somewhere, and I might have to sleep on a park bench. I don't know why, but sometimes that happens, and I can't help it. I make poor decisions. Okay, fuck you. But my wife, she's not built for that. She's like, park bench. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why would you sleep outside? Well, baby, I got a little drunk and I lost the keys. Like, I have no other excuses. These are the reasons why. Uh, let's drink this beer. We've been
Yeah,
like
we've been
yammering
this.
about bullshit forever.
Yeah, I'm ready for the next one. I even drank my little secondary beer.
Yeah, I
Um,
drink this Bud Light seltzer. I'm about to drink. There's like fucking 12 of those in there. I'm probably about to just crush them all. I'm off of work most of the week,
oh,
so
nice.
I'm about to get down.
All right, so we got a Tropicana. We've done a few of these, but this one's the Mango Lime IPA by Heavy Seas, which is most of our top beers. 7.25% American IPA, and obviously it has mango and lime flavors.
Hey, you keep talking that shit. I'm gonna plug in a dehumidifier. I'm like getting a little stuffy.
Well, uh, the title of this made me think it was going to be really good. Um, it's described as juicy and zesty. I'm getting more zesty than juicy. I almost feel like, and I'm probably wrong on this, but I almost feel like I taste jalapeno over. To me, it tastes like a jalapeno beer.
Um, I wouldn't go that far,
That's weird. It says
but
something about Puerto Rico on the can. This is Heavy Seas is Frederick, Maryland. Oh, this one no, Baltimore. Oh, so we got a one in. I guess they probably brew in Baltimore too. But yeah, so I did like it, but I was more expecting more.
I get you. I get you.
So I was real pumped, and I was kind of disappointed. With that, I did write a 6.9 at first, but I'm gonna give it a 7 because the percentage is right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little. I would say where it said juicy and zesty. I'm tasting more zesty than juicy.
I got the juicy out of it.
Yeah, see, I didn't. I
So
would have.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. But it's one of those beers where it's a little sweet, so I can only do so much of it. As much as I love sweets, there's a limit. I'm gonna go with. I was going 7.2 on this one,
Okay,
but
so oh, we
but
gotta do
I
that.
feel like I'm being too generous with these fucking sevens, yo.
Well, what's funny is Bea was talking about our scores because I don't know how it came up. I think it was the dunk contest yesterday because I was like, we'll get to that. But Carl
Yeah.
Malone, I felt like was dead on. He was lower than everyone else, but some of the dunks I would be like, yeah, that wasn't impressive as hell. And he'd give it like significantly lower than everyone else. And I'd be like, yo, he's the only one, and he's the one of the few. That, I mean, They did have some former dunk champions, but like Dominique's always a judge. He's always like 49 or 50, pretty much, from what I see. 9 or 10. This year, for whatever reason, it was like 50s. So we talked about the beers. Something she's like, "You guys are always hating on beers," and I was like, "Nah, I feel like the majority of our beers are 7, definitely between 6 and 7." I was like, 6 means
Yeah.
we like it, but we're not gonna buy it. And I was like, we can't. We have to have we can't be too hot because that's the dunk contest. You give the
Yeah.
first dunk a 50. Where else can you go from there?
Well, yeah,
If
it's
it's
like,
better, so it's like we've had very few excellent ones, which is how it should be.
yeah. I mean, that's what makes it a uniquely special thing,
Yeah.
though. Like the couple that I know that do that Lost
We have a
podcast,
good bell curve. Like it's all in the middle.
like the couple that does the Lost podcast when they're rating each show, like everything was in the nines. But then it was a matter of, is it a 9.4, a 9.2, a 9.9, a 9.8, and it's like, well, look, I love that show, but not every episode is a 9. I can promise you that. There are some episodes that are fucking stinkers. Like if we're doing like genuine scores, they're like, a lot of those episodes were like 6s, but you know that just looks brutal.
So I don't want you to see what flavor it is. 'Cause you
I
might
can-
like the flavor.
I can look at the flavor. I can look at the color and tell what the flavor is. The flavor is yuck.
It's a little different.
Like you can grab like the cold glass. Like now I got to drink this from a
I think
room,
this might be good.
a room temperature mug. Gross.
Ooh.
It looks like oil.
Smells good. Ooh,
does it.
I like it.
I
It
can't-
tastes exactly what it is. So let
I
me see
can't
if you can
smell it because like I'm stuffed. I'm stopped up right now.
Unfortunately, yeah, we should have switched glasses because there was a little bit left over. But let's see if you can tell the flavor. It does taste exactly what it is.
It's dirty socks.
Oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I could taste it a little bit. It's not hateful for sure. It's just it's thick.
We should have switched glasses because the smell is really good. But I mean, now it's getting better. That I got the mango. Mango does not go with oatmeal.
This isn't terrible.
Yeah, this is a good dessert beer, and it's a pretty strong one.
I mean, I feel like I poured a little more. Like, I mean, I'll finish what's here, but it's not hateful. So yeah, we had the NBA, I guess, All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of it, so I'm clueless to anything.
Yeah, you didn't miss too much.
I was too busy watching the Elimination Chamber, which is on in the background.
They did some weird skills thing where the Jazz had a team since it was in Utah. The Antetokounmpos had a team because I don't know how many there are. I only thought there was two,
team of 'em.
but they had Drew Holiday on the team, so I was like, that's cheating. And then was it maybe it was like the rookies? I don't know what it was, but that competition had various games. It was terrible. Like, I mean, one, they're like passing through a tire. That's dumb. Like,
For what?
that doesn't, yeah. You passing through a tire doesn't show your passing accuracy. Like, it's trying to be like the quarterback challenge, but
Stupid.
passing a bounce pass at that. But then they did this shooting thing, and they were so off, like everybody. I felt like Jordan Clarkson might have been drunk because he airballed it, bricked it. So regardless, the dunk contest. So it was kind of wild. I already knew this. So this white dude from Philly, or no, he gets signed from the G League just before the dunk contest, and he's put in the dunk contest. So I'm like, all right. And he signs like a 15-day contract. So I'm like,
Just for
all right,
dunk
this
contest.
dude's gonna win. Because it seems like it's just for the dunk contest. Hopefully he gets into the league because there's like some talks. Maybe he's got some skills. He definitely got like a little swagger to him. Like he was dribbling around. Like he doesn't play like a white dude.
No fundamentals.
Yeah, he had a little street to him. But he looks like a typical white. Like doesn't look like he would be able to do this stuff.
He's got
But
a
anyways,
black girlfriend.
so he's the he's the shortest in the dunk contest by a lot. So it's only 4 people, and I mean his dunks. I think he got every single dunk was a perfect score. Some of
was
them,
it deserving of a perfect score?
I would say, since he went last, what the other scores were, you had to give him a perfect score because it was that much better than all the others for sure. The every other dunk, if he wasn't in the dunk contest, it would have, because last year was really really bad. Like we have like every once in a while we have a good contest, and then it's like years and years of bad, and then they talk of like we need to get rid of this. This year he saved it. Some of the dunks he did, like when it was fast, it was like, oh, that was impressive. One is he made his dunk every time, so there's no misses. You know, like we've had guys miss three, then they do it. When you see it in slow motion, some of the things he did was like, oh damn! Like one, he jumped over two people, like one was on the shoulders, but he bounces it off the backboard first. You miss that when it's in fast, speed. That he jumped over them and then taps it off the backboard, then reverses dunks it, and then he's the first person. So I would say all his dunks were pretty original, but also he did I guess you'd call it a 540. So he did a beyond a 360, then did a reverse dunk. So that part was interesting. I bet on him. Now you can bet on dunk contest, by the way. But I was like, the fact that he signed a 15-day contract, for the dunk, this got to be for the dunk contest. He's winning. And then the 3-point contest was pretty good.
I'm trying to put the dunk contest on in the background.
Oh, there we go. So, yeah, I mean, I think he might have been second, but it's not to say his dunks weren't good, but most of the other guys' dunks have all been done. One guy tried to do like a Vince Carter type dunk where he puts his whole arm in the basket. But he, like, when you watch in slow motion, he, like, pulls himself up by the net.
Like,
oh, yeah, that part was kind of funny because I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a player. He's known, he often hides on the baseline when you pass the ball in, then runs behind you and steals the ball. Yeah. So he did that during the dunk, basically. He ran behind him, stole the ball, but then threw it off. So that was creative, but the actual dunk's not that it's just a 360 off the backboard.
Nothing special.
Yeah. But so Karl Malone's the last judge. His scores are consistently lower than everyone else, but he's the most on.
Well, I think also there's a thing though too.
So that one. So he tries to put his wrists in like Vince Carter, double hand. But then when you watch it in slow motion, he actually doesn't get both in. Look, his left arm's not in, and then he puts it in.
I mean, he was high enough though.
Oh, he jumps high as hell.
He could have gotten them both in. The other one didn't go in by whatever reason.
But again, that's not overly impressive though. Like Vince Carter, when Vince Carter did that the first time, when he put his whole arm in the ring, that shit was out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and it was awesome to see. But yeah, that guy can jump, but.
Because, I mean, like, looking at him above the rim, I mean, he could have had the other arm
but the slow motion, he doesn't. So good scores, but again, Karl Malone, he gave him a 44. Everyone else gave him 49.
Because, I mean, honestly, it's just a dunk. It's just a basic-ass dunk.
Good dunk. Not that impressive. But
not impressive.
Not for a dunk contest.
No. And everybody's like, oh my God, it was so good. No, I mean...
Yeah, but not that impressive. And by the way, that one did not happen on the first try.
All right. Well,
let's see, white dude.
Like, relax, buddy. It's not that big a deal. It's just a dunk. Like, and there was no one there, so it's not that impressive.
Karl Malone gave 46. Oh, they all gave, I guess, a 46 because
I'm surprised. Oh no, yeah, he definitely looks like a generic white guy.
Yeah,
like he's generic as fuck.
Look, he's like, get on his shoulders. Look how short he is, though. He's not that tall. Which it's always better to be short, I think, in the dunk contest because you have more air.
Yeah.
I think it's a disadvantage to be really tall.
All right, let's see.
So again, looks cool in fast motion, but then watching slow motion.
So... To me, why that's impressive is the fact that
look what he did though. Don't.
It's like he's short, like he's shorter than everybody else in the contest, and he just jumped over.
I haven't seen anyone do that. He jumped over two people, bounced it off the backboard, or hits it off the backboard, then reverses it.
Yeah, I mean, perfect score across the board. Like, and I would say, okay, you know what? I think he earned that. you know.
This one I didn't understand too because he's using a weird ball. And at some, by the way, someone in the commentating crew, I think it was Kenny Smith, kept hating on the white dude.
Kenny Smith.
And he's like, he's using a G League ball, but he didn't say anything about this dude using some weird ass. I don't even. This ball doesn't even have. It's like see through. So this one, by the way, that's Kenyon Martin's dad.
Yeah, it made sense because I saw Kenyon Martin. I was like, oh yeah, is that his son? Okay, yeah, it is his son.
Yo, this took about 8 tries. Nah, I think I'm over exaggerating, but it took a multiple tries. He couldn't bounce it off the backboard good. But that ball
been in
is
the league
weird.
In like 40 years.
Yeah, but look at that ball. It's see through. It's like.
Yeah, that's weird. A weird fucking ball.
They didn't have a problem with him using that ball.
It looks smaller. I don't know.
Yeah, and that wasn't that impressive. He threw it off the backboard and reversed it.
Like maybe the ball ain't got no grip. Like maybe that's why it's special. I don't fucking know. You know the ball. Like when that shit is like worn down and we try to play with this, like
the interviews in between were dreadful. So that was tight.
Yeah, that
was like a Dominique style jump.
Yeah. Like having to look at it, it's like okay, yeah, you have to like see it in seeing it in fast motion was a lot more impressive, obviously. But like when you see it slowed down, you see exactly what was done because it's like all right, there's a lot of shit that just happened.
Almost a perfect score, but yeah, he gave it was like a extra move than usual. Oh, this one was dumb.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, he got this. This is the one I really didn't like because he's trying to be impressive. Doing that Vince Carter style. By the way, he already did it.
Oh,
now he's gonna do it with his armpit. And then he reads the thing. This is dumb. Why he thought this was a good idea? Yeah. Then he struggles to open it. By the way.
Oh, so not only is he a bad dunker, but he's stupid too.
Yeah. And it's not a bad dunk, but when you watch it in slow motion, he pulls himself up with the net.
I mean, like,
but look, all right. He thought this was so clever. It didn't go over well at all. Because one, he couldn't open the envelope. And he didn't get a 50. But look at it in slow motion. Look, he definitely helped himself up with the net. But again, he already did that dunk. I mean, granted, it's the armpit now.
No, but it's still business as usual. Like, the first one felt more impressive because you saw it the first time. When you do it again... It's like, okay.
All right, here's your thing.
Not
as
Let's see. I like this first one better. But that was cool. But his first one was much better.
I think this one is just effective.
So it's funny. I was just looking at that dude. I was like, that dude looked like Kang from Ant-Man. Oh, because it is.
But yeah, I think the whole crowd was like giving him 50s.
Okay, yeah, in slow motion, it looks like.
And for how short he is, it's just like, damn. That one probably shouldn't have been a 50, but that round, it was the best dunk.
Yeah, I mean, it was still cool. I mean, also, he looks super generic, so you gotta give him the bonus points for looking like he just, like...
okay, he did get a 49 from Lisa Leslie.
Like, he looked like he just left Baskin-Robbins.
Oh,
like,
so this one I didn't like either. Like, Kenny Smith was pumping it. Someone was pumping it up.
What was it? Oh, I looked away.
He did a fancy like delivery, like he did under his legs and threw it up and caught it, but the actual dunk wasn't anything that spectacular.
Well, none of the dunks are spectacular.
Like that one, he throws it
the
up.
Shit, that's involved with all the movement. I mean, that was fine. Like, I don't
see. Carl's the only one though. It's like a 46.
It was fine. I feel like the dunk contest were
Oh, so that one, when you see it in slow motion, he does like a hezzy. Haven't seen that done. So he does like the reverse in the air. And, I mean, again, he jumps over someone. But he pumps it twice. He's like, he does a little pause. He goes. But look at his head for someone that short. But and the other thing good with him though too is he made his dunk every time on the first try. Like this is fast forwarded. Some of those guys.
So, I mean, I understand they're remaking White Man Can't Jump, but it's like bring that kid into it.
White Man Can Jump now.
Like White Man Can't Jump except for this one.
So this is almost I think this might be the last round. That's not that impressive.
No.
He did a spinning windmill. That's been done a million times. And Vince Carter, when he did it, was like way more powerful. And this guy's super tall. Like you see, his feet aren't that high off the ground.
No. Not impressed by any of these kids. I mean, the white kid, he's cool. And the one kid.
But the white kid ain't beating like any of the top, though, like Vince Carter. Oh, yeah.
No,
So he
no.
puts his high school. By the way, I think his high school he went to was the same high school Allen Iverson and J.J. Redick went to. And he broke their records. This one's pretty cool. See, he got a little swagger to him, a little dribbling. So that one, haven't seen that before though. So we've seen 360s.
Yeah.
This was he spun around, but not just a whole 360. He ended up doing it backwards. So I guess a 540,
Nah.
which I'm surprised. You know, like in skating, it was a big thing to keep spinning more. I'm surprised they haven't been doing that in the NBA. Someone's gonna pull out a 900.
One day. All right, let's see.
But yeah, everyone was super impressed by this one. Are you gonna show us slow motion real quick?
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. All right.
So beyond the 360.
All right.
Again, I guess it's like when Spud Webb won. It's because he's short.
Yeah, and I think that's what should really count in a lot of these is like you're short. You're already at a disadvantage.
And I think you get some bonus points from. Well, I think he got bonus points. Let's be honest. He probably got bonus points because he's white.
Yeah.
He's short. He doesn't look like from the neck up a basketball player.
Yeah, like looking at him, it's like, yo, this dude is definitely gonna go back to his accountant job tomorrow. You're like, hey, so what'd you do for the weekend? Well, I won NBA slam dunk
I think
contest.
he played for the Oak Ridge Orphanage.
Um, he does look like fucking what's Oliver Twist.
But yeah, good for him. I'm sure he gets some kind of bonus, and
Yeah.
who knows if I don't know. I think he. I just know some NBA players had a problem with it, and I don't disagree. Of like this dude wasn't even an NBA a week ago.
He just showed up and they're like, so what are you doing?
Philly's like, yo, he won the dunk contest. He didn't play a game. So I'm not sure that he actually played. I think he might have. He just signed though. Like I'm 90% sure he signed just to do this dunk contest.
Good for him.
So
Good for that guy.
good amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him. I'm proud of him.
So and then there was the 3-point contest. I bet on Buddy Yield, and he gets to the final. It's close. He misses his last shot, and he has to go first. It was kind of funny. They're like, the commentator goes up to him and is like, and what advantage do you have going first? And I was like, you don't have any advantage going first. He's like, none. But anyways, so it comes down to him and or Damian Lillard, and Lillard is 1 point down, but makes his last shot, and it's a money ball. So it puts him ahead by one. So I would have won $55 on a $5 bet had Buddy Yield won that. So that was disappointing.
Like there was like I guess a celebrity type fucking game
Oh
or
yeah,
some shit.
freaking DK Metcalf is just dunking all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, some of the dunks though, like he double dribbles, travels. There's a one gather one, like he takes the ball with both hands, then does one more dribble, then throws it down. It's like
It was like
funny.
the extra. It was like, okay, hey, relax. We know you
But
play football.
I think it was Myles Garrett played the year before and was just kept dunking on everybody. But yeah,
Well, I mean-
Metcalf is a freak athlete. So is maybe more a freak athlete is actually Myles Garrett. The fact he's a defensive end doing that.
Yeah, like he seemed like there's just something that's off about him because it's like you're a defensive end, but you don't move like you're a defensive end. Like you don't move like you're a D
Actually,
lineman.
yeah, I'm actually feel like he should be more dominant for how athletic he is. And he's a beast. He's probably top 3. But like the Bosa brothers, I think cause more. Or they get more sacks. I believe. Could be wrong about that. No, doesn't get sacks. Chase Young, but we'll see what he does this year. You want to review this beer?
Yeah. Sorry, big yawn. I don't know why all of a sudden I just got fucking tired.
So this is an oatmeal cream pie.
Gross.
We all like cream pies.
Love giving them.
By, we never had this brand before. Whole Hog, Next Level Brews. It's Imperial Stout, molasses rich oatmeal stout, and obviously it tastes like an oatmeal cream pie, which it very much does. Um, I would say it's pretty good for a stout.
It's
It's
tasty.
not as heavy as the one last week. Like that made me feel really full. Definitely does taste like an oatmeal cream pie,
Yeah,
and it's 8%. So I think stout lovers would love this beer.
it's pretty tasty. It's solid. I liked it. Again, it's weird because it's hard to judge this because I wouldn't personally buy this. Like the one from last week, I probably would buy it, but more as like kind of a novelty. And I think this falls in that same category. Um, ugh.
Ah, yeah, the last one I was just trying to remember. It was the Neapolitan.
Yeah, the
Damn, both of
Neapolitan.
those tasted very much like what they're supposed to.
Yeah. This one, I would probably give a. I would put this in the same category. I buy it as a novelty. I give it a 7.
So I went 7 with the first beer. I like this one slightly more, and it's 8%. So I'm gonna go 7-1.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry.
This last beer, I don't know. I got a lot of good ones on the way because I loaded up. I try to do I arrange them for the picture. So let's go 2 cans in one bottle.
Okay. Um, sorry. I'm like, my nose is stuffy right now for some reason. I don't know.
I got
Maybe
a
I can get
humidifier in
some.
my room, but it's one of those vibration ones. I wonder if they work as good because our room air sometimes is definitely too dry in the winter. But I feel like the heated ones probably work better.
So I have a humidifier, like a bedside one. Um, I don't use it anymore. So I think I broke it first off, but also I just like it just felt weird to me because it's like you can see the mist, and I'm like, something doesn't sit right about that. But then I'm also goofy because it's like I wonder what happens if I put like beer in this instead of water. And my wife was like, "Don't."
Yeah, I'm weirded out by the vibration ones. It's like instant.
It's okay.
So
She
it's
likes it.
it's not it's cold air, but I'm like I don't feel any necessarily any difference. I
No,
named
same.
it though, and what did I name it? Layla. And I would make all types of jokes, and Bay was getting jealous.
It's weird
'Cause,
that you would
you know,
name a vibrating
I
thing
name
Layla.
everything. It's weird.
It very much is. Um, what
I
Sarah?
think our air fryer's name is Nathan, something like that.
What the fuck is wrong
Yeah,
with
name
you?
it. I like the, but
You don't have to. You don't have to explain yourself. Never mind. You're a weirdo. My wife is out at a concert right now, like with the neighbor. The neighbor text. Well, so our neighbors across the street. The husband texts me because his wife. Maybe it's her birthday. I don't fucking know. Something like that. I can't remember. Let me recount the
what
text.
concert is it? Local or
It's something over at Maryland Live. Um, I think it's country. I believe. Well, hold on. I'll pull it all back up because the name and everything is there. And I was like, huh, okay, that seems countryish. Let's see here. If I bought tickets, would Sarah want to go see uh, Anti Flag and Flogging Molly?
oh, those aren't country.
They're not country.
Flogging Molly's like an Irish rock group,
Okay, it felt very
and
country to me.
Anti Flag I thought was a punk rock.
I don't know. I know nothing about these.
Flogging Molly, I'm pretty
So
sure is an Irish rock
I've
band.
heard of Flogging Molly. I have heard of that, but I was like, okay, well, hold on. So,
Yeah, Irish American 7 piece. They're like a Celtic punk band. So kind of like what's that group?
honestly, yeah, honestly, when I really think about it now, like just knowing it was like that seems right up their alley. Um,
So I would have. I think Anti Flag. I am
I
curious.
don't know
I
about
do
them at
think
all.
they're a
I've
punk rock band too.
never heard of Anti Flag.
Yeah, American punk rock from Pittsburgh.
Um, he was like, I'm trying to surprise her with a girls' night. It's at live and doors open at 9. Oh, 7. Nope, not 9, 7. And I was like, hold on, let me check. And then Sarah, Sarah was supposed to work tonight, but the baby hasn't been born yet. So she was like, I mentioned it to her. She was like, look, as long as the baby isn't born yet, I'll go. I was like, all right. So she texted the family. They're like, look, nothing yet. So it'll probably be delayed a week. So,
Actually, sounds like a good time. Like I'm
well,
kind of jealous. First, you like country. I'm like, oh fuck
yeah.
country.
Well, so yeah, I thought because like I'm
Now I'm
looking at
like,
the names, I was
now we
like,
got
oh,
punk rock. Like,
like,
yeah,
I was like, oh, never
this
mind.
just changed the narrative.
Yeah, like now, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Sarah's been texting me, like checking on something, like, yo, how bedtime goes. Like, meanwhile, she's out there fucking probably getting trashed.
Yeah, she's
Um,
all washing.
yeah, like she comes home with a black eye. Like it's weird because like Sarah doesn't really like go out or anything and like put on makeup. So like before she left, she's like all dolled up. I was like, yo, I'm fucking that tonight. Like,
Hey, hopefully she got some. Hey, she got some good drinks. You're gonna have a good time.
no, trust me.
Flogging Molly. I feel like I like Flogging Molly. I honestly can't
Here,
remember
hold on, let me-
a thing on there.
Let's see here.
I'm very sure, or pretty sure they sound similar to what's that group? The Shipping Up the Boston group, Dropkick Murphys. I believe they play a lot of similar shows. So I believe I've probably seen Flogging Molly at like a Shamrock Fest.
Let's see here. Hold on. Let's pull out some Flogging Molly real quick.
I don't know what their hit is, but if you're an Irish punk band, there's gonna be some drinking
I don't
songs.
got no sense. That's probably not it. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, this sounds like some Irish like punk rock. It's going to have some heavy guitars. Watch. Oh, I like it. It's like pirate music. It is. Oh, this is pirate music. It is. This is the kind of music, though. No, I'm not rocking this in my car. I'm not rocking this at home. But if we're at the bar, I'm rocking this.
I'll tell you
love
what.
when bars are playing this kind of music.
I'll tell you, like, if you give me a 10 milligram gummy, you put this on, it's a good time. It's a good time.
I like hearing this type of music at a bar.
I'm about to text right now. Tell her, like, hey, when you get home, you're getting fucked.
I want to. You're gonna have to give the answer.
It was on my neighbor, so I was about to.
Oh shit!
Yo, he probably would have like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, sorry, that was supposed to be for Sarah, not you. My bad.
You should say, can you tell Sarah?
Hey, yo, text your wife and tell her to tell my wife that when she gets home, she's getting fucked.
We're gonna have a live. I want to see if there's a response. That'll be interesting. But yeah, what else do we got? We got one more beer.
Oh well, yeah, I know we got another beer because we've only drank 2.
I drank 3.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't have a lot on the board this week.
Oh, I did watch one movie.
I got 2.
Sorry, women can't jump.
I got.
Oh, let's get the glasses. We can't mix this with oatmeal stout.
Yeah. I'm gonna put us on a brief pause real quick. And then let's go get those. All right, and we're back. Yeah, like this fucking nice and frosty fucking glass. It's fucking beautiful, son.
Yeah, like we can't mix a beer after the oatmeal stout.
No, for sure.
But yeah, these glasses are nice and frozen.
The freezing.
Ooh, this is a strange color.
What the fuck is going on?
So it is a sour.
God damn it.
These can be good or bad, but this looks like wine.
Yeah,
with a pink Zephyr.
I got some mixed feelings here. I am gonna empty the cans though.
I got bad to finally. I've been trying to get her to buy the box wine. So I'm like, you keep going through these bottles, and her wine that she does like is very good, but one of them's only a 5%er, but it tastes so good you'll feel it because it's like freaking carbonated juice. But she finally she didn't get the box, but she got a handle, and this one was pretty good.
So the box wine is super underrated, yo. I'm letting you know right now. The box wine is the move. You're getting 37 glasses for like $20. I guess maybe the price of $25.
Sometimes they're even less.
Yeah. Oh no. Like there's the one like generic box. Oh my god, I got AIDS.
Oh, I feel like the color of this like it could be good.
Well, let's see.
It's not gonna be beery.
Maybe it's no. This is a cider. Smells like a cider. Oh,
this is grapefruit and hibiscus.
I
don't know what hibiscus is.
Not great. Well, it's not terrible, but like I'll drink it for sure.
I think we gotta drink it a little bit Just because we just had an oatmeal stout.
That's not affecting my life. Um, but
I like the initial taste. Then
the initial
the
taste, but then
aftertaste
the
is
after is
weird.
a little.
Is that the hibiscus?
That's what I'm
What the
thinking.
fuck is a hibiscus? I feel like it tastes like a cactus at the end.
I don't know. Like, why do you know what a cactus tastes like? Is my question. You fucking weirdo.
I mean, it tastes like.
You know.
So we've only done I think we definitely have done this one before. Like this company, Peak, and they do like organic, which I don't know what organic beer would be.
Um,
Is it blessed by a rabbi?
I hope it's like kosher,
Oh, I went somewhere this weekend that I haven't
like
been
a
in a long
circumcision.
time. Old Delicate City. I haven't been there in forever,
I've been kind
and
of
it wasn't planned.
I've been steering away from it. Just like I have my history there and reasons why not to go there. But I know life has changed down there with like just the flooding. So
Yeah, because I was telling Babe about some of the stories of the Phoenix,
yeah,
and
like
the Phoenix is now at the top. I thought maybe it had both because the bottom one still exists, but it's not the Phoenix. I think it's closed now. That's the one that was always flooding too.
yeah,
So I thought because it said Upper Main Street Phoenix or something. So I was like, maybe there's two now. So I walked all the way down just to find out there's nothing at the bottom one. But then remember, I forgot all about this till we're there. And I don't know if you were there. It was during the Lido days of Tiber River.
yeah. I'm aware of Tiber
Because they
River.
used to have that tight game room, but also back then we were young. I mean, we were of age, but that place didn't check no IDs. So we worked with a lot of people that were not of age, and everyone could hang out there. And they had what game room up top, I believe. Like there's some kind of
Yeah, there was like
something.
games upstairs, a pool table. I think
It was a
last time I
cool
went
little
there,
bar.
there was like the punching machine was there. Last time I went there, which was like close to a decade ago, I would say.
Yeah. So right. So what's there now? And I don't know if it's an exact location, but there's a place. We've had their beers. I didn't realize it was right there, Manor Hill Brewery. We've had a few beers from them. So that place was very cool. It was very busy, but a lot of their beers. I don't know if you remember. We did one called Stacking the Deck, which was like a high 8% beer. I even looked it up. I was like, "What did we give this?" Because I would give this. What I was gonna give it on draft was about what we gave it. I was like about like a mid 7.
Okay.
But yeah, it was. I like doing the flights, except that it's so small. But like where you can sample that, because you tend to drink them like shots. But they had like some kind of Mardi Gras thing going on, but I didn't see anyone participating. But they had drink specials, and their drink specials were like for a mixed drink was only $6, which is very good for a bar,
Nice.
and they were very good.
I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening with the Instagram money. I'm back on the payroll, and so far it's been a week. I'm not in trouble. So far, so good. I would say if they pay me this coming week, that because I'm due money, I'd say not next weekend. I think I'm busy next weekend. Yeah, grandma's birthday. So the weekend after, it's gonna be like, oh, that's a fucking UFC card. Never mind. The 11th. I don't think anything's going on that weekend. Maybe.
There's always daytime if you're off.
Well, because I was thinking like, let's head down to Ellicott City, like just go down on a Saturday
Yeah,
night.
look, I feel like it would be a fun time.
Well, I
When
can
you're the
only
right
day
people.
drink on Sundays because I work on Saturday. And I actually enjoy day drinking on a Sunday because it's less traffic, meaning in the bars, less traffic on the road. There's a lot of
Yeah,
benefits
our
to it.
day drinking in Fed Hill was awesome. That was a really fun time.
But then I'm also thinking too, like I don't know, because like I think last time I went day drinking was with Winter, and that was fine. I mean, we didn't get like fucking alcohol poisoning, but we had a few drinks, and then I went day drinking just randomly with a coworker, uh, which she's from like she lived in the city, so I went down, hung out, and it was fine, but it was also a weird like I don't know. I don't really want to day drink with you because I feel like you're the kind of girl that wants to like try to talk shit to people. Like, hey, I got this big black guy with me. Like, girl, I'm not big because I'm strong. I'm big because I'm fat. Like, you better chill. I ain't trying to fight. I'm just trying to fucking drink. Like, what you doing, dummy? But I don't know. Like, when was the last time we went day drinking? Have we gone day
I think it
drinking
was the
recently?
Fed Hill.
What? Like, did we? When?
Yeah.
When the fuck was that? Was
I
I
know we
was I
walked. We
drunk?
went. We were real drunk.
Oh yeah,
The
we were
person
like
that was
walking
with us
around and
ended up
shit,
wrecking his car.
and
I
we
think.
found a dog and everything.
Yeah, that was yeah. We found a dog. We went to the Under Armour court. We
Yeah,
were
all
everywhere.
right. Now I'm starting to remember. It
We
was like,
went to the tequila bar and we tagged ourselves there, and they gave us free shots of
yeah,
a
let's
free
go back
shot
there and
tequila.
tag ourselves again. Get some more
I
tequila.
think gave us some chips and nachos or salsa.
I think that was just complimentary. Like I think that's how that
Yeah,
works.
no, we definitely got the
Um,
shots though. Once you tagged us, they were like, "Oh, you guys." They said something about it. They're like,
I'm gonna see going to something like that though. I don't want to do a Sunday.
"We started off the rooftop."
Yeah, I remember now. See, to do something like that though, I don't want to do a Sunday because I know I have to be home that night for Sarah to go to work, and I got to work the next day. I'm gonna see if I can like fuck around with my days and like get a Saturday. Let's just go out a Saturday day, fucking have some fun, and then that way I could get home, fuck my wife, wake up the next day. I think like we have like training on Sundays now, but it's like it's like sparring. So we're not even going there to like to learn technique. You just come in, put on your gi, and find a partner and start fighting. I don't know if I'm really ready for that right now. Like, but this week I'm gonna do the Monday class. There's a 6 a.m. Tuesday morning class. I think I'm gonna go do that because why not? It's,
Yeah,
it's my birthday.
let's arrange
Do
a
what I
day
want.
drinking. I mean, hell, we'll celebrate your birthday. Maybe it's later, and then oh, what was I gonna tell you? I doubt you'd want to do this, but and
Nope,
this was
I don't
spur of
want
the
to do it.
moment.
I don't want to do it.
I got the tickets, but and I don't even know if you know any. I think you've heard of them, but Jedi Mind Tricks.
I've
We saw
gone
them.
yeah, I was like, dick.
They opened for La Coca.
I didn't. It was Everlast. It was
Everlast.
Everlast. Because I haven't seen La Coca Nostra.
Okay, so yeah, it was Everlast.
Yeah.
So he had announced on Instagram, and I'm like a casual fan of him. There's a few songs
Yeah.
I really like. It was funny, you do your Spotify Wrapped thing, like it tells you your like whatever most listened to. I was very surprised that my most listened to song of last year was a old Jedi Mind Trick song. I was like, oh, it's because I like the beat though, like a lot. But anyways, I was like, I saw him on Instagram, and he likes his influence by like all of my favorite bands. He's affiliated loosely with all of them, and he seems like an interesting guy because I always see him. He often talks about boxing. He's a huge boxing fan. He seems like an interesting guy.
So like CTE is what he likes. Okay, I get it.
But I saw that he was also like, this is my last tour. He was like, I don't particularly like touring. He was like, I like performing, but I don't really like the traveling, being away from home. So he's like, this is my last tour. So I was like, and it was kind of like, I've been wanting to see like what a our era hip hop show might be like, because it's not the same now. Like, I mean, the biggest artists now are doing like stadiums or big, like this is like a 9:30 club type show, which I love. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's my favorite.
That's
venue.
my.
So I was like, it's his last one, and he's from Philly. It's in Philly. I was like, oh, and the tickets were only $30. I was like,
what are the dates?
I'll pull it up while we're looking. But yeah, I already got 2 tickets, but I know it's probably close to selling out, but it wasn't sold out. And I just got tickets like a few days ago. But yeah, if you want to go, because we are probably we even might get a hotel. Welcome to
Well,
stay.
I need the dates. That's the
Try
most
to pull it
important
up.
thing, because
It's next month,
because
Saturday night. Saturday, March 18th.
March, of course. So basically, you want me to go to a show on my grandfather's birthday? Okay.
Oh, your grandfather. No, I think you should take him to the Jedi Mind Trick show.
So
Do you know? So the opening act, you might have heard Outer Space.
I don't.
They're pretty good, similar type. I think they've done some songs together. And who's the? Damn, I don't remember. There was a third. It sucks. The European one. They just finished. So he finished his European. So that's his last ever European tour. They had R.A. the Rugged Man and someone else. Like that was a good 3 shows for that. Um, dang, who is it?
I hate being a
Oh,
mouth
it was
breather.
who was the guy? The Devil song I showed you, the long ass song.
But
Dance with the Devil. Remember that? I
it
remember I
sounds
played it for
familiar. I
you and
just
Sarah one time because it's like such a crazy song.
like because my nose is stuffy. I'm like mouth breathing right now, and I fucking hate it so much. Um, this is really lame. My
But yeah,
nose.
I've never been to any concert in Philly. But we got a hotel that's not too far, so but yeah, if you
Um,
can go, it
it's
was $30.
it's
My
a
tickets
stretch.
ended up being I think $80 total, so the add on fee wasn't super bad like it
Yeah,
normally is.
it would be a stretch just because of work.
You're right.
Like that would be the big thing for me. Um, Trying to sort out either getting out of work early or just getting out of work at all altogether.
But yeah, us seeing him that one time, I that made me like him more. The live show.
What was I gonna say? There's something I was gonna say. There was. Oh yeah, yeah. So my grandparents are back in town. They go to Florida every after Christmas or after New Year's every year. So they got back last week. So I had to go over help them. With them leaving for Christmas, they didn't take things down. So they get home, they take down the trees and everything and box everything up. So I had to go over and help them with that on Wednesday. So I did. I approached my grandma about this right after Christmas. I was like, "Hey, I have a podcast, and was wondering if you guys would like to be a guest on my show. A big part of it is just kind of hear the story. They're old. They're in their 90s. So, there's a lot there. And obviously, you got to kind of guide it because if you just let two fucking 90-year-old people talk, I mean, that could be a fucking 8-hour show in itself. And I'm not doing another one of those. That did a 5-hour show. Never again. Sorry, Dunkel. Not happening. But I
Our first one was around then, but it was like drunken
so like
madness.
we had 3 hours recorded,
Oh yeah,
and we had like
five
another
hours not
3 hours
recorded.
off air, and then when we finished we were going to record again, but I never hit record, so we talked for another 2 hours after that. So I think I want to say we started at like 9 o'clock and we went to like 3 a.m. So I mean, call it what you want. I mean, and I think that was like probably the first time we really sat and talked like in years. So it made sense. Now we fucking talk every week, and it's like all right, we're a fucking hour in.
That's
God,
rude.
like fucking go home, like
It's always
trying to go
gonna
jerk
go
off.
home.
Um,
You gotta tell me. Did you text Sarah?
what that I'm gonna fuck her? Yes,
Did she respond?
she hasn't seen it yet, so I don't know. Like hopefully she's getting drunk. 'Cause
Okay.
that's
She
even
sent
dude,
back like
it's gonna be fucking aggressive. Like
the
it's going
what's the
down.
wet mark sign?
Like it's going down. Like because like I saw her like walk out there all dulled. I was like, I'm fucking that. Like for sure.
Oh, so that kind of music too. She's gonna be amped up.
Oh yeah, she like you gonna come back home and try to fight me. I'm like, whoa, right here on the floor, son. So he's gonna come down like, why are you guys fighting? Maybe we're doing jujitsu. Go back upstairs. They were like I asked my grandparents about the podcast. And I was like, I'd already talked to grandma. She already signed on. She signed my grandfather up for it. So I talked to him about it. And one thing that I really don't like is when people ask me, what's your podcast about? Because I don't know. It's supposed to be a martial arts podcast, but it's really not. It's whatever the fuck I want. Like I had my teammate on today, and I was like, "Yo, like, how's everything been going?" He started talking about training, and then we started talking about comic books and comic book movies, and then it just became a general conversation. Like talking about Kanye, talking about Taylor Swift, talking about Taylor Swift tickets, like because his girlfriend's going, just all this shit. And it was like, okay, it was just that. So when my grandfather asked, he's like, what's your podcast about? And I was like, well, it's just kind of a general conversation thing. Da da da. And he was like, um, are there any questions that I have to be concerned about that you may, that I should prepare for? I was like, no. I mean, it's just kind of learning your story, just talking with you and hearing your story, and just. And I go, because you guys are. My grandma goes old. I was like, well, I was gonna say seasoned, but you can call yourself old if you want. And I says to my grandfather, I was like, I explained one point. I was like, look, I had a guest on once. It was very hard to talk to him because he wasn't really a talker. He doesn't like to talk. And my grandfather goes, well, I don't like to talk. Oh shit! Hold
No,
up.
that's me.
Nope, that's me. I'm buzzing, son. Hold on,
No,
hold on.
no, I think I
Oh, you
texted you.
text me, you cocksucker.
Sent you the date of just
Dude,
Vinny Paz.
Dude, my dick got hard. I was like, yes.
Damn, then he opens sees Vinny Paz, who's not the best
Like,
of looking.
now it just went soft. Fuck it. Nipples are a little hard though. But my grandfather was like, basically, I was like, yeah, this guy, he didn't like to talk. My grandfather was like, I don't like to talk. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, well, I don't like to talk either. So you'll be fine. We'll be okay because my grandma, she'll do all the work. But my grandfather, I feel like, I don't even know if it, like, I got to feel I'm going to set up the equipment. And then at some point, he's just going to get up and leave.
Your grandfather, I hope he starts it with his phone answering because he has the most distinct answering the phone.
I'm
like it's engraved in my brain forever. Like I will hear that voice and his phone answering.
Well, I'm gonna do the intro, and I will introduce him as the full name because his full name's tight, son. Like it's wild, but
actually, it is. Yeah. There's not too many. I don't feel like there's too many white people if that is the first name.
Oswald.
Mine was
Oswald's a Disney character.
No, but that's not what he says on the phone.
Oswald Maurice.
No, he just goes, "Hello, Maurice Haynes." That's how he answered your phone.
No, that's the answering machine. The answering machine is he does.
I'm telling you, he would do it on the phone. He'd be like, Maurice
well,
Haynes.
no, I'm saying on the answering machine he would do the full name. You know?
Oh, okay.
I was like, God
Yes,
damn.
Because Maurice. I was like, so my grandfather's name was Morris. So
Logan Paul just entered the fucking elimination chamber. What a dick.
Oh, is he gonna do the clothesline from the other?
Yeah. Well, no. So hold on. He did a flip.
God damn, he's tall as shit.
Yeah. I didn't even realize he was that goddamn tall. All right, hold on. He like does a flip over the rope into a clothesline. So, get him out of there. He lost. He loser. What happened? Oh, the curb stomp. Yeah. So Sophie was watching it and she was getting it. She's like, oh, I was like, baby,
what are these new
real.
futuristic rings? They got padding outside the ring?
Nah, it's the elimination chamber.
Okay.
So basically, there's like on each corner, each turnbuckle has a enclosed case, and every like 2 minutes, one of the doors open and someone comes out. I think at this point everybody's in there.
The video I sent you recently when Kane came out and did his pyro didn't get off. That shit's so funny. His face and Big Show's face. Big Show's kind of laughing at him, and he's like trying to hold in his lip.
All right, here it comes. It's got to be coming out because he's about to do some shit, and then, which is silly because it's like, how do you not see Logan Paul like coming out of nowhere? Because it's like you have to open the fucking doors for it to happen. You goofy fuck. Which, no, okay. I was getting excited again. I heard the phone buzz.
Is that Seth Rollins?
Yeah. Oh, here it
got
comes.
Some blonde streaks now. Yo, he is tall as hell.
Yo, it's like you can't really like. I hate on these kids, but you can't really hate on them. Yo, they put in the work. You know, they do the things, and they're doing side challenges in life. So good for that kid. Good for him. So I guess. Oh, he did the curb stomp on him. All right, that's cool. So they're definitely going to have their match then upcoming. So I'm all right. I'm all right with that. So they'll probably set that up for WrestleMania because that's the next big event is WrestleMania. So, all right. Well, then. I think that's on April Fool's Day. Yeah, April 1st and 2nd. So it'll be on in the background while we're recording. So anyhow. Yeah, I'll have my grandparents on the fucking podcast. This is going to be fun. I'm mainly doing it so I can get kind of a chronicle because they're old as fuck. So we know what that means. They may not have much longer. So I'm just trying to get like all the, story and like conversation with them. A lot of it is for Sophie's benefit because she loves family and she loves just knowing everyone's stories. So I want her to be able to listen and be like, oh, these, were my great grandparents. Grandma, granddaddy, as she calls them, because that's what I call my grandma and grandmommy. Call my grandfather just Maurice, because like, look, when you body slam somebody and choke them, you can call them whatever the fuck you want to call them, because like, who gonna check me? Not him. So It's like I remember there was one time we went out to lunch. This was after I attacked my grandfather, and we went out to like brunch. That's what it was. And I was in that like teenage angst like moment in my life, and I was just like a badass. And everybody went up to the salad bar to get salad, and I was just sitting there like sulking, like, no, I'm not getting no salad. I'm too tough for salad. He comes over, leans over, whispers in my ear, and says, "Get up and get a fucking salad now." No hesitation, I hopped right up. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and get that salad because there's a different level of fear after you like for lack of a better term, beat up somebody and they still talk shit to you. It's like this man has no fear. And as a matter of fact, he's probably been like there's a Rocky montage somewhere going on where this dude was in training. Like, I'm gonna test this kid and I'm gonna fuck him up. So I knew, like, trust me, I didn't want the rematch. like, no. I knew what was coming. Like, I would do something this dude would kick me right in my nuts. So no, I'm not falling for that. He's from Texas. Like, I'm sure he'd shoot me. So I don't know, but yeah. There's not a lot of notes on the board, but Greg Hardy got knocked out.
Greg Hardy. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
it's pretty fun. Just because he like hits women, so it's always good to see him get like knocked out. Like he got knocked out in a way that was just so disrespectful. It made my heart happy because it was like fuck that guy. But
We do have a question from Bayer.
oh, we'll get to it. We'll get
What,
to
what I
it.
got?
We'll get to our punk ass
You were just
questions.
talking about the salad bar. It reminded me of so in third grade they threatened to hold me back.
Because of salad.
Well, which one? I was young. No, but I do. I'm a pressure player. I was like, oh, you're gonna hold me back. Now I gotta get my ass in gear. So I got straight A's for the first time. Straight A's. The principal took us to Sizzler, and we
Oh,
got the
Sizzler.
salad bar. So it was my first time ever. That would probably be my first, I guess, buffet. But I remember thinking it was amazing. This I don't
'Cause,
remember what the Sizzler salad bar was.
Sizzler was
But
amazing.
I remember thinking like that was amazing. I don't know what I got, but there was only like 5 of us, and the principal drove us to Sizzler. So that was a good reward, though.
Yeah, Sizzler.
Yeah, I was in this
Sizzler
weird
was special,
experimental
dude.
class where it was a third and
It was
fourth
level
grade.
5.
No, it was a third and fourth grade combination in one class. So the
Uh-huh.
teacher was teaching 2 different grades,
Yeah.
and in math, I was like just blowing everyone out. You know how to do like those your times tables, which
blowing
are-
everyone?
It's
Cool.
just remembering your the
Yeah.
stuff. So we had like 100 questions. It was like how fast can you do it, and how many you had to get 100% right to move on to the next level. Well, honestly, if you know your times tables, it's pretty easy. So I aced through that. That was
Oh.
the school. We did the paper doll cutouts of ourselves. And you had to draw yourself.
Yeah,
And I drew myself an eye patch. That shit was tight.
it wasn't.
Yeah, I always drew myself an eye patch for some reason. And a scar coming out of it.
I got a feeling that you were probably troubled, and that's okay. um, this dude is always selling action figures, like loose figures, for $20, and I always look as if I'm going to buy some, but I know I'm not. There's this one chick I love. Hold on, real quick, because she was special. She's special just because her boobs. All right, that's it. All right, woman dies after falling from Disneyland parking structure. All right. That wasn't good news. That was actually really depressing. Sorry, I was looking at Instagram trying to see if anyone was twerking. I ended up seeing somebody died at Disneyland. My bad. Um. So yeah, Greg Hardy got knocked out. That's all the news I got. NBA All Star Weekend. Cool.
Did that.
I don't know.
The All Star game is tonight, but
I guess
they don't.
what channel was it on? TNT.
TNT or ESPN.
I don't think it was on ESPN, but I really didn't look. I just assumed it wasn't on.
Yeah, I could have bet on that. It was weird because you don't even know what the teams were. It's like Team Giannis or Team LeBron. And I think you could bet on who was first pick, and the odds-on favorite was Luca, which is weird because Luca is not even. They were talking about like the MVPs for this year. Luca wasn't even up there, and I was like, "What the hell? Luca should be his stats." I haven't seen Luca and Kyrie play together yet.
All right, so that also that's Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all. What's that song? That did
Tiger
that?
Woods, y'all.
What was that?
I don't fucking know.
That reminds me of Yeah, the Jizz is playing in DC soon, and
Oh,
he's
nice.
doing Liquid Swords, which is a great album. But
Yeah, it is.
if I feel like it's those type of shows are kind of weird though. It's like they're just doing that whole album because I'd rather hear like snippets of your whole career. You know,
It's a great album, dude. I'd be in for that.
well, it's
Um,
on DC.
you got any dates?
Uh, it's coming up.
Well,
I
that's
was
not a
I was
date.
interested, except I mean I prefer the Jedi Mind Trick, so I already chose that one. So I was like, I can only go to so many shows. And
Oh,
Bear's yet
yo.
to experience a hip hop show, which I
Hey,
feel like the Jizza show's more. He's more lyrical, so it's not gonna
hey,
be.
man. When was the last time you watched Color Purple?
Oh, there's Oprah.
Yeah, it's Color Purple, son.
I've never watched it.
Let me tell you, my foster mom loved this movie. I probably watch this movie at least 3 times a week. It's not a happy movie. It's a really good movie, but it's one of those movies where you watch it and it's just like, God damn, like you had it rough. It's Whoopi Goldberg is the lead, and Oprah is yeah, she has
Could
a
Oprah act?
yeah yeah. Oh my God, like this movie like top to bottom is phenomenal as far as acting goes. Danny Glover, Whoopi, Oprah, uh, the one chick who plays Celie. It's such a good movie, but it's one of those movies I watched so many times. I was just like, God, I hate this movie so much. And then when Sarah and I moved in together, I think I think I bought her a copy for Christmas, and I was like, just because I bought this for you doesn't mean I want to watch this with you. Like you watch this when I'm not home. I'm so over this movie, but since it's been so long, I am gonna watch it again soon, but not on not on TNT. Let's see here live. Let's see. Guess I gotta sign in. I don't fucking feel like signing in. I don't feel like doing any of this shit, so fuck the All Star game. Oh, there it is. Like, where's All Star game? Come back.
TNT.
TNT, you trash. Fucking dog shit. I wasn't trying to watch fucking Rampage. I'm done. I'm already over it, dude. I don't want to watch it now. I want to watch fuck the All Star game. I'm over it. Cocksuckers. All right. So yeah, that was really it. Then I watched Ant Man. Um. It was fine as an Ant Man movie. It was
The new one.
yeah.
What's it? It has a weird name, right?
Ant Man Wasp, Quantumania.
Quantumania. That's what it is.
Because basically they go into the quantum realm, and then this is setting off like all the events for like what's upcoming with the multiverse and stuff. It was fine, like without spoiling anything. I will say as an Ant Man movie, it's as expected. Um, Now this is supposed to be the movie that kicks off Phase 5 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not a strong start off point. Um, I feel like right now, and I was saying this with Huggy earlier when we were recording. I think part of what's going on with a lot of these movies is we're spoiled with all the other movies, but we're also not remembering. Like when you look at the first phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Iron Man 1 was very special. It kicked it all off. Everything else was okay in the middle. Then Avengers was special. That's 2 out of 6 movies. That meant something. Then you go into phase 2. Captain America Winter Soldier, special. Um, Guardians, special. Civil War, special. Um, and then that, well, actually, Civil War is phase 3. So Guardians and Winter Soldier. So 2 movies. Again, now we get to phase 3, Civil War. I hated it, but it was still special. It had ramifications. Um, Doctor Strange, and no, never mind. Let's take that back. Black Panther, culturally, Infinity War, and Endgame. So basically, people complain about the Phase 4 movies and TV shows. They're like it just felt lackluster. I mean, yeah, like what? Like I think everyone's looking at things like, oh, we're expecting like something big, and it's like, no, just stop expecting. Just watch the movies. Just watch the movies and let them be what they're gonna be. If you like them, then you like them. If you don't, then you don't. But you can't say, oh well, Shang-Chi wasn't like, it wasn't as good as Infinity War. Well, it's not supposed to be. Infinity War was a special movie. Endgame, trash that it was a special movie. Um, but everybody's expecting every movie now to be this huge epic. And that's just not the fucking case. Now with Ant-Man, because it's supposed to start off the phase at the very least, and I think there's a lot of underlying stuff that's going on with the story. So it's still, and that's why it's like it doesn't feel special. But there's a lot of stuff that's going to pay off bigger down the line. But Jonathan Majors plays King the Conqueror. This has already been alluded to in the Loki TV series. We already knew that was coming anyway, and you finally get to see him as King. Like the whole big thing about what the multiverse story is like everybody has a variance. So there's multiple universes, multiple the multiverse basically. There's a different version of you in all these universes. On Loki, when they finally meet him, he talks about how there's all these different variants of him. One that's a conqueror, which is King the Conqueror. You see a post-credit scene that kind of hints even more to it. And you see a whole lot of different variations of him. And then you see another post-credit scene that gives a scene away from Loki season 2. Those things set up big things moving forward. Like it. As far as like what happens in the movie, it's like, it's fine. It's Ant-Man. That's fine. I sat through a couple hours of a movie just to see those post-credits. I could have watched the shit on YouTube later. But the only thing that really kind of blew me about the movie is like Jonathan Majors has been in shape for Creed 3, which I'm gonna go see that in the theater. It looks like it's gonna be good.
I like the first two, so probably watch it.
But he is in a like straight up fist fight with Ant-Man, and it's like it's a like back and forth fight. And I was like, bullshit. Like, there's no way that Paul Rudd is going, toe to toe with fucking Jonathan Majors, who looks like he looks like his body is straight out of a comic book. And he's fighting this dude like no powers, no nothing, just straight fist fighting. And he wins, I think. I don't know. It's hard to say because like something happens. It was like, is that a win? I don't know. Maybe not.
Oh,
So
I had to look him up. I was like, the name sounds familiar. Fucking, that's my boy. From my damn Western.
oh yeah.
One of my favorite movies are Harder They Fall.
But
So he's in Creed.
yeah, he's in Creed. I mean, he's in everything right now. What's the movie called? Devotion. It's got airplanes in it. Ant-Man and all. He's basically going to be in all the fucking Marvel cinematic movies now because he's the next big bad guy.
Who's his character?
King the Conqueror.
King the Conqueror. I really liked him.
Yeah. Well, we just
one
watched.
of my favorite performances. Honestly, was Harder They Fall.
We just watched Lovecraft Country, which stars him. Like him alone, he's worth it. Like the series is weird, but he's worth it just by himself. The female lead, she was in Full House as a kid. She was one of like the neighbors, like the little kid, like Michelle's friends.
I thought you were about to say Kimmy Gibbler.
No, not at all. Not at all. Gross. But like her as a grown woman now, this girl, beautiful. Like she is just fucking drop dead gorgeous. But her and Jonathan Majors, they're in this show called Lovecraft Country. We just watched that last week. It's a weird show, but it's good. So if you're trying to get your Black History points in, go check it out because it talks about a lot of that shit going on in the 50s, racism. So check it out. But Ant-Man, it's fine. Do you need to see it in the theater? No. Marilyn Phil would say yes. I'm gonna tell you no. You could wait to watch it any other place. I went to the theater across the street, and I think for the first time it really occurred to me, this is why all the other theaters are special. Because this one, as I'm looking, is like basically looking at my TV. You can see like the clear siding. It's like, yep. And I sat way in the back, so I think it made it worse. If I would have sat in the middle like everybody else, I probably would have been fine. But I sat way in the back thinking, oh man, I'm sitting in the back, man, fuck y'all. And as I'm sitting, I was like, God damn, like y'all need a bigger screen. This is a movie theater. What is fucking wrong with your shit, son? But it was good. It's one of those movies where it's like Paul Rudd, he's fun. His daughter, not his actual daughter, but the Ant-Man's daughter becomes a main character. Someone gave their overview of it, and I was like, I thought I was the only one. And I don't think she's a bad actress. She was in Paranormal Activity 4, and she was in the Vince Vaughn movie called Freaky. Kind of a play off of Freaky Friday with like the body swapping thing. Uh, she was really good in that actually. Like she's like, I hate when they have like these new like high school movies and like the pretty girl is a nerd. I was like, get the fuck out of here. She was like the mascot. And she's like a nerd in pictures. I was like, she's like really pretty. Like, and no one wants to be friends with her. Shut the fuck up. Um, but then like Vince Vaughn, who's a serial killer, his body or he switches into her body. So her as a serial killer, like just being super cool and just like fucking people up is like a little too convincing. Maybe that's what she does in real life. I don't fucking know. But then you see her in Ant-Man, and it's like the dialogue is really bad, and I don't think that's her fault. I think they just have some really shitty dialogue for her. So yeah, um, if you got your free fucking movie pass, to go see a movie, you don't got anything to see, Ant-Man's worth it to see it, just for the funsy of it. The I don't think the visuals were anything special. I think that's something that Marvel is really, really lacking on lately. Is I think they're spending less time on their CGI, and it's kind of showing. But it was fun. I mean, they had the usual laughs that you get in an Ant Man movie because it's Ant Man. You can't really take him serious. I remember when they first announced it, when it was like Ant Man. Who the fuck would see that? And I was like, no, Ant Man's one of like the original Avengers. So I was like, that's fucking dumb. Like that's stupid. And I was like, no, it's gonna be good. It was fine. It was good. I thought it was good, but you can't convince her because she already convinced herself. Ant Man's stupid.
Ant Man just doesn't have the ring to it. It's like,
Yeah,
that's the superhero you want to be.
it's like Ant Man. Of all the other insects, you pick ants. You can like pick, I don't know, praying mantis, tarantula. Maybe they don't have the same ring. Tarantula man, praying mantis man. That doesn't sound the same. Like worm man. I don't
Poor
know.
man, that would suck.
Beetle man. Like Spider Man. Oh, never mind. But I saw that, and then we watched the Woman King last night. Really good movie. Um, Not much to really report off of it. There's like a lot of good action and a good story behind it. So I guess it's supposed to be based off true events. The only real like thing that really came from was like Sarah and I like talked afterwards because there are a lot of people that had a problem with the movie, specifically people that look like you with penises. Um, White males were like, "Well, whatever, it's stupid, it's bullshit, it's woke bullshit," and I was like, I mean, I guess. I guess it is kind of weird when like growing up in school, you hear the stories and like you know all the stories that you hear like from history class, like white dudes are the heroes. Columbus was a good guy, and then when you see a story where like that's not the case, it's like, oh, that shit's dumb. No, like other people had a story too, and Viola Davis plays the lead, the Woman King. She was great. She was great in it. The one chick who was in Captain Marvel, not Brie Larson, but the black chick, because everybody's black. I think there's like one white person in this movie, like legit one white person. Um, I don't think he's really white. This guy, I think he might be Hispanic,
Was it
but
Mac McClung, the slam dunk contest winner?
probably looks super generic. But everyone did a great job. The dude, what's his name? John Boyega. He was in Star Wars and some other stuff. The new Star Wars, the black guy. Um, like he was a king. Like it's weird, like seeing like just actors grow up and mature into different roles now. It was a fine movie. It's one of those things too. It was on Netflix. We watched it. It was like, is it something I would say, dude, you got to go see it? Yeah, maybe not. But if you're like, you know what, maybe I'll check it out. For out of curiosity, it's worth a watch in that regard, but it's not worth a watch and saying, hey, go watch this. But just to talk to Sarah and I were having about it was just how these stories. There are lots of stories in history that when you hear it, it's like, is it really true? I mean, why would it be true? Why wouldn't it be true? I guess is more the question. But it doesn't matter. It's a story. It's a movie. Just fucking enjoy it. And then, you know, if you don't enjoy it, then that's it. But if you did, cool. Tell everybody. Scream it from the fucking mountaintop.
Whoa.
Yeah. Those are the two. We watched some other shit too, but it wasn't important. I can't remember what the other thing was we watched on Netflix, but we were really, really into it. I just don't remember what it was because I'm a little like tipsy and like foggy brain.
I got some more sour beer.
I got this one, so I'll drink it. One thing real quick. I was thinking about this before we get to your movie. I was thinking about like reincarnation. I'm not like a big believer in it. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I believe in parallel worlds, so maybe I do believe in it. But everybody always wants to say like in the past life there's someone important. Like everyone's like, I was, Joan of Arc, like, or I was like, Cleopatra, or I was, Martin Luther King. It's like, no, you're some motherfucker. And to even play off of that, and this is gonna sound really shitty, and I know it is, and I am so sorry that it's gonna sound shitty, but it's got to be this way because this is what I do. People who have died young, unnecessarily, and the example I use is Emmett Till and Trayvon Martin. People make it out to like, oh, they would have lived on long, beautiful lives, and they would have been these great. No, they would have just been regular people. I assure you. Like Emmett Till would have been, I think, I want to say like 80 something years old if he was still alive today. And people like, well, who's to say? Like, what's to say he was going to make it to 80? Like, like relax, people. And I know that sounds shitty, but I've been thinking about that all week. The fucking past lives thing, and then like people talk about other motherfuckers living like long, prosperous lives if they hadn't been killed early and senseless, bullshit. I was like, no, they probably would have died of heart disease. And it sucks. It's a fact though. And no, you weren't fucking Cleopatra in the past life. You're just some fucking bitch getting fucked. That's all.
All I know is I was a pirate.
And that's fine. Like you could say you were a pirate. That's very generic. Like you're not saying like you were like Blackbeard or some shit. Like I was just a pirate. All right, that's fair. As long as you don't think you're like I was like the captain of like a fleet of ships. Like no, motherfucker, you were just a guy on a boat who could like swim. You had a parrot. Like relax.
A peg leg.
Like
hook arm.
You're a fucking pirate
and a patch.
Meaning you had fucking gangrene in your leg. You got a fucking peg leg, dummy. Like fucking chill, son. So yeah, that's really all I had.
That's all I gotta say about
that. On that.
Yo, we just did a whole episode. Y'all don't even know.
Yeah, like we went on break. Like God knows how long ago.
The economy, inflation, housing,
like minimum wage. Like we went in.
People thinking they're all that.
Like
selfies.
Damn, I forgot about the
we
selfies.
Went it was a long. Yeah, it was almost a full episode.
Yeah, dude, we really need to. We need to reel that kind of shit in, dude. Because like we went into a whole nother like this is like a fucking after school special, like life lessons for you motherfuckers, and y'all missed all of it. So if you want to know, shoot us a message. We'll let you know. We'll give you the dirt on it. And if we were talking about you, we'll let you know. Like, were you talking about me? Yes, we were talking about you. Stop taking so many selfies, bitch. Like Sophie, Sophie taking mad selfies. Like one day I'm gonna like just sneak up on her and knock the fucking.
There was actually more we went into. It was a lot.
Sex work.
Oh yeah, the middle screen.
yeah, like all that shit, yo. Like
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
God damn, we did.
Yo, we had that was a good episode.
What time is it? I'm about to be in trouble. Oh shit, it's 12 now.
Is it midnight? All right, let's wrap this up. What was your movie?
All right. Well, and we have another beer review and we have a question. So we'll go quick. Beer review or movie?
Let's do the movie real quick.
All right. I finished Black Adam. This is Black History Month. He's not black. But
fuck you.
He's black.
Fuck you.
Well, the movie's definitely not.
But yeah, trash.
So this movie, one, it does a terrible job
of everything
explaining the other characters beyond Black Adam because they're pretty big roles. It's just like, yo, you're what is it, Adam Smasher?
Yeah,
and that was about it.
The Justice Society is very important in the DC
I mean,
universe.
and they were even big roles, but yeah, it was basically like when they introduced what's the bird,
Hawkman,
Hawkman. I don't remember. I don't even know if they said their names. Like
Cyclone,
Cyclone,
Hawkman,
yeah.
Atom Smasher,
Cyclone's
and Doctor
basically
Fate.
like they literally give one sentence of history of those three characters. That's it. And it's just you're gonna accept it, and they're like rookies, so that doesn't even make sense. They're like, yo, we need, it's the girl from Suicide Squad, the leader,
Yeah, Amanda Waller.
and she's basically like, we need these, and well, these two are rookies, and we got this guy. That's it. No backstory.
It sounds
They're
like
pretty big characters though, but
sounds par for the course.
no history at all. And Adam Smasher's like ridiculous. He's basically Ant Man.
No, I was about to say that's Ant Man.
With no history, and his dialogue is real dumb, and he's like a terrible hero.
Love to hear it.
But yeah, one another thing that stood out really right away is how much steroids The Rock uses. That he looks just like a friggin' superhero naturally. I feel like the positives was the special effects were decent enough.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I kind of like the way The Rock kind of floated. But yeah, his Black Adam is extremely overpowered. Like, it's just like you feel like when you see what he does, this dude just can't be beat at all.
I wonder though if that's a factor of the Rock factor of him basically. He has that clause in his contract. No, I can't be seen losing the fight.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the story, I mean, it had a good, decent little twist of you just the way he got his power. If I grant, maybe
Yeah.
you knew it, but I didn't.
I didn't know.
Not being a
I didn't
so I
know
was
it.
like, that was a different twist. It almost made him seem less interesting in a way. But I mean, I feel like I liked watching the movie for certain parts, but it was like also like it's one of those movies you could tell you might like watching it, but it's terrible.
I couldn't get through it.
The way he defeats the
Just
bad guy at the
didn't
end is
get
just ridiculous.
Like there was a bad guy.
Yeah,
I didn't. I
and it
think
was very.
I watched 30 minutes of it.
And it was kind of similar to some others where there's just no point to the bad guys, where they just want to destroy things for no reason. And dude finds that crown, puts it on. Now suddenly he's like basically a devil type guy, but basically Black Adam. And it's gonna spoil it, but this movie's not worth not spoiling. He just rips his head in half. No,
Love it.
wasn't too challenging for him, to be honest.
Like that, man. That like I tried watching Black Adam twice. I couldn't get through it, and it's not being like pompous or snooty or anything. It wasn't enjoyable.
It's already announced like The Rock's not going to be him anymore. So
Because the dude who did the new Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, he's taken over all of DC. He's gonna do all their. He's the head of the films now, and they're not gonna bring back the Black Adam stuff. All the stuff that we got with Man of Steel, Aquaman, all that gone. Like we're not gonna have any continuation. The new Flash movie is gonna come out and be kind of the reset, and then they're gonna start over. They have like a Superman Rebirth movie. They're gonna have a few Batman movies. You know, and I like it. I like that he's in charge of it, and I like that we're not gonna have another Black Adam film. And like the whole idea of putting Rock in a superhero movie, it seems like it's the right thing to do, but it's not because him, Vin Diesel, any of them who don't want to be seen losing a fight in their fucking movie, fuck you. Like, like how fucking bruised is your fucking ego? How fragile are you? Like, I can't be seen losing. Fuck y'all.
yeah, it was.
I hope they hear it.
Had some good special effects, but yeah, not a great movie. It just doesn't make sense. A lot of it, like I mean, he's so overpowering the others, and then he's just gonna be in this part of the world. I think it's a made up part, but it basically implies like it's the Middle East. He's gonna protect them,
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense though. I get
I
that.
mean, this guy could be everybody, but
Like, I don't know.
he's no hero, by the way.
No. Well, Black Adam is actually like Shazam's like
Yeah. So
rival.
you told me that because yeah, it is kind of funny too. The way he can turn off his power is to yell Shazam.
And
But Shazam is just a funny word.
the thing is like with Shazam, it's like with Black Adam, there's no like hint of Shazam being part of it, and I don't know. There's just a lot that I was fucking annoyed with. So, The Rock can eat a dick. But XFL started this weekend, so I'll have some updates for that next week.
Shazam.
All right, let's review this beer real quick.
All right, so we got Sweet Tarts by
Oh,
Peak Organic Brewing
that's
Company.
what that's called.
So Peak is the one, yeah, they do these organic beers, which I still don't understand what's organic about beer.
The hops.
What makes it organic? They don't use pesticides?
Yeah, something like that.
Do they use pesticides in Bud Light?
Yeah, and it tastes good.
Yeah, I love pesticides.
Pesticides are delicious as shit. Like the pesticides in this seltzer, so
Yeah, these
delicious. Yo.
seltzers are pretty
It's
decent.
pretty
tasting.
fucking good, son. I don't know.
Very refreshing.
I mean, I don't know when the last time these were drank. Like they've been sitting in the fridge for like months.
If the percentage was a little higher, they'd be real good.
I mean, for what they are, they're 5.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
You know,
I mean,
5%.
the flavor's good.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
we
pretty-
can rate those after too.
It's
I
not
won't.
hateful.
So yeah, Sweet Tart. So it's a sour beer, grapefruit and hibiscus. It definitely has that sour taste. It's not as bad as some sours we did early on, but and I don't know why, but I have noticed when we do review sours, they tend to be lower alcohol. So that must be a thing.
Yeah.
4.6%.
Oh, that definitely hurts.
I feel like this was a better tasting sour.
Oh, because I was gonna
'Cause
give this
none of them have
the
been-
trash score to begin with, but that percentage definitely like locked it in.
Like actually, when I think about it, like the taste isn't good. It's just sours are kind of easier to just crush because they're maybe lighter. Well,
In most cases, yes. This one I didn't enjoy at all.
yeah, I see it's still there.
I was
Those are
trying,
pretty
dude.
bad,
You saw me trying though. Like I kept sipping at it. I was like, I'm just not getting through it. And I don't even think that it really tastes terrible. It just didn't taste
Yeah, I was just thinking my
enjoyable.
score actually. I think I was a little too high at the beginning.
like.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, God damn.
Still adjusting.
Yeah, I feel like
I got taken to the 4.6. I mean, I did drink mine right away, but also
let me give it. Hold on.
I enjoyed drinking.
No, I mean,
It's a typical sour. I mean, it's
yeah,
very
it tastes like a
typical.
sour. I think what I'm going off of is like I wouldn't buy this.
Got it.
I don't know that I would tell anyone to actually buy it even. Like, and that sucks because
That's true.
like I would tell most people to buy most things, even the ones that I don't like the stouts. It's like I think stout lovers would really enjoy certain stouts that I know I don't, but I don't like stouts. I do enjoy sours though, not this one. I'm gonna, God, it sucks because I haven't gone this low in a while. I'm gonna keep it in the 6s. I'm gonna give it an even 6.
All right, I went 6.3, so we're not far off.
Yeah,
I went much higher originally, but I think that's just because I was drinking.
it's like, oh, fuck it, like
And now that we talked for like an hour in between, it's like reality hit me.
like he came to his senses. Like
Yeah, I wouldn't choose this over very many beers.
it's like as we're talking about the economy, it's like, you know what, that beer does suck. It's like God damn it, I hate this beer because of
Like the
economy.
sours are like I can always drink them fast. But yeah, it wasn't tasty at all.
Yeah, like
And then
yeah,
I'm like, oh, then it was 4.6.
yeah, most
You
sours.
know what? Now that I think about it, because I was feeling it when we started drinking, it actually sobered me up.
You know, that's you know your shit's bad when like you drink, it's like oof, like I'm not
I'm
drunk
back.
anymore.
Like, I'm fine now.
Like you get pulled over by the police, take a sip, it's like nope, I'm sober.
I had sweet tarts, so I'm good.
Take the breathalyzer, you blow a 0. Like
Yeah, I saw a video of someone that got pulled over, was so unbelievably drunk. It was even like admitting it, but then when he did the breathalyzer, it was like a 0. they were like, "What the fuck?" They're like, they had to let him go because there was nothing.
I mean, it's just like, well, we would take you in, but you blew a zero. We could arrest you for being dumb. Like, I don't know. All right.
Oh,
Well,
we got a question.
all right. Let's try to breeze through them
Oh
quick
yeah, all right.
because we're past time. I think Sarah's the one trying to fuck.
Would you rather? Oh, we haven't. I thought we had this, but it's a little different. Would you rather lose your sight or your memories? Oof, that's
So one of my biggest fears is like Alzheimer's and dementia and all that. I don't want to. I'm terrified of that idea. So
that's real
you
hard.
you can have my sight. Fuck it.
But that's rough to lose without sight.
It is, but I don't want to lose my memories.
Yeah, dang, that one's real tough actually.
Um,
I would have said sight, but then at the same time, now I'm thinking about my memories. I don't want to lose that.
yeah, I mean, that's the reason for.
Damn, I
doing
might flip a
anything.
coin because I don't even know.
It's tough, but I'm terrified of losing my memory. Like that brain fog during COVID. I could remember my grandma's phone number. I was extremely scared.
Just how the text come.
I was terrified. Um,
He thought
So-
you went to a country concert. I had to set him straight.
yeah. Like it was like Sarah's at a concert. I was like, it's
Yeah, and that's what I told him. He was like, I think she went to a country. He told me the band name. I was like, I'm pretty sure she's at an Irish punk band, and they're gonna be doing moshing.
I was like, I think it's a country band. He was like, no. It was like, and then I started playing it on air. I was like, oh, I guess this isn't country.
Yeah, Flogging Molly, Anti-Flag, and I can't remember the other one, the opener. I can't remember them. Skinny. something.
Skinny
Skinny
J's,
No, L.
Skinny L's.
No, it starts with an L. Oh, something. I can't remember what it was.
All right, hold on. We got to get through this real quick because we're
This is
over
our
time.
last segment.
Yeah,
where
we're
we
over
have
time.
weird questions. Would you rather give up air conditioning and heating for the rest of your life, or give up the internet?
Well, we
For
were
the rest of
without
your
the
life.
internet for a little while, and then, let me tell you, it wasn't fun. It was not fun. You know what? I'd give up AC and heating because I know
Yeah,
how to
I'd
make
give
a,
up that.
I know how to make a fire.
The internet's entertaining.
Like I was a Boy Scout.
I'll put on a lot of clothes.
Yeah, so like fuck out of here. Like dude, I need TikTok.
What the hell? Just, I don't understand. Would you rather swim in a pool of hot dogs, full of hot dogs, or a pool full of pizza?
What?
I would rather. I feel like swimming in a pool full of hot dogs would be kind of funny.
I don't. You can't swim in either because they're not swimmable things. And I would just eat the pizza.
You won't eat the hot dogs?
No, I mean I would, but I can't answer that one. Let's go to the next one.
Would you rather find a rat in your kitchen or a roach in your bed?
Rat in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Fuck
Well,
that.
By the way, we found a mouse in the air fryer at a former place we lived.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like.
Oh no,
where-
no,
I
no!
was
We
like,
haven't had
dude.
anything. We haven't had anything.
Like-
Although I got an air fryer
Wait.
for Christmas, that shit lasted about a week.
Sounds like
So
my
I-
Instagram pay
So
scale.
my present of an air fryer, I had to go buy my own air fryer. So
Hold on. Yes.
Lister.
Sk-
Lister.
Skinny Lister.
They're also kind of folksy.
I figure they're all in the same pocket.
oh, I know your answer. So,
All right, let's go. Let's go.
would you rather never eat watermelon
Oh,
ever
you
again, or
fuck-
be forced to eat it every meal?
Racist. Fuck you. I'd rather be forced to eat it every meal.
Knew it. It's like
Fuck you. It's Black History Month. You can't do that. Fuck you.
I think I'd rather never have it again.
Well,
I don't want to eat it every meal.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I won't miss it that much.
No, like there are times where I have like a lot of watermelon because it's super hydrates you, so I gotta piss so much. Like, and I forget. So when I eat a lot of watermelon, I'm like, yo, why am I pissing so much? All right, next.
Would you rather get a paper cut every time you turn a page,
Nope.
or bite your tongue every time you eat?
Ugh,
Ooh, I
God
think
damn it.
that's a bad one.
I
think I'm gonna go paper
Yeah,
cut.
I'm gonna take the paper cut because guess
Bite
what?
your tongue.
You know what I'm
hurt.
not doing? Turning pages. I'm reading digital books.
That's true. I don't even read. So.
I don't know because you can't.
Would you rather solve world hunger or global warming?
Man, fuck them kids. Wait, global warming or world hunger? Well, look, climate change is a myth. Okay, I would solve world hunger because we got enough food. Like, like we can do it. Like global warming,
I don't know. I think the steps to reverse global warming
we're
are
far
things
beyond.
we like to do.
Yeah, we're far beyond that. Fuck that. Like, let's just feed the people. Like fuck all that. Like, man. Plus, I get cold.
Would you rather have a mullet for a year or be bald for 6 months? Oh, I'd much rather have a mullet. That's tight.
I mean, I don't see a problem with either.
Yeah.
I think they're both fancy.
Mullet. Party in the front. Wait, no. Party in the back? What,
Yeah,
serious in the front?
business in the front, party in the
yeah.
back.
Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse? I didn't even
Zombies.
know there was a robot apocalypse.
Zombies, because I watched Megan, and let me tell you, I'm not fucking around with those things. Let's fucking kill
Yeah, I
these
feel like
zombies.
the robots are going to be very precise.
Oh yeah, the robots will fuck us up.
They're
Son.
not going to make any errors.
2050. That's it. They're gonna fuck us up. 2050.
So yeah, I'll choose zombies because I think I have a better chance to live. Would you rather spend the weekend with pirates or ninjas? Pirates, they're gonna be fun as hell drinking.
Ninjas are all like quiet and shit.
Yeah,
But I do
It's the
jujitsu.
weekend.
I hang out with ninjas anyway, so they're kind of cool. They're actually a lot of fun. Plus, I know we can fucking like beat people up. But pirates, like, do I got to be on the boat? Because
I don't think so because then they come to shore. You're just
yeah.
spending the weekend.
yeah, let's party on like as long as I don't gotta fuck with the water.
party like
I'm gonna fuck
someone's
with the
buying
water like
rounds
that,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Like I'm not trying to fuck with the water like that. So,
If you met a genie, what would your 3 wishes be?
ooh, I mean, this can get deep. I mean, like, we're on a time crunch here. Just off top,
Off the top of the head.
like honestly, same thing I said to my therapist. I would want people to stop fucking with me. Just let me be. Let me have a fucking simple day. You know, let me chill. So that's number one. Number two, I want a bunch of money. I don't want like all the money, but I want enough to pay my fucking bills, and I don't have to worry about that shit. And number three, um, I want Wu-Tang to get back together with Old Dirty as well.
That's important 3 wishes.
Yo, that third one is that third one's legit. I want the Wu-Tang to like drop another solid album. And I want Old Dirty there too. That's for real. That's from my heart.
All right, 3 wishes real quick. I'm gonna be simple.
Bitch, mine was
Let me
simple.
let me just get a house. Let me get a second wish. No joint problems for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's legit. That's legit. I have a
And
hard
then
time
third,
turning
I
to
mean,
the
you
right.
going Wu Tang? I'm like, yo, House of Pain broke up real early. We could have went a little further. Let's go that.
All right.
We got some dumb third wishes,
No, fuck you. Those are fucking great. Yo.
and they can go on tour together. So let's.
yeah, and
I think they did tour very early on.
those third wishes are solid.
What's the meanest thing you've ever said to someone else?
Jesus
I
fucking
kind
Christ.
of have too.
I've said some fucking horrible things. Yo, I told a little kid he had big ears and he cried. I was a grown man. I feel bad about it now. I didn't feel bad then.
So I only remember 2 things
Fuck that kid.
come to mind. One was a teacher I really liked in middle school. She was very nice, but it was like one of those things. You know, we made fun of everything. Like that was like a thing we did. We make fun of each other. But she had very frizzy hair, and she told us this story that she got electrocuted by a refrigerator in the flood. And I said it a little too loud. I was like, no wonder her hair looks like that. And then she was like, yeah, that is why my hair looks like that. Like in front of, like she totally heard me. And I was like, I felt bad because I really liked that teacher. So it was like, damn. The only other thing I can remember is, I never said that. I wish I could say, I already told the story of your friend that you said, DJ's.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that
But
was.
the worst thing, it wasn't that bad, but this girl said something to me in middle school, like, and I was just like, and no one will know the name, but I'll be like, I was like, Stephanie, you're a whale of a girl. And the whole class just started dying laughing. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't hateful. I mean, I'm sure everybody in all those scenarios turned out okay. That little kid with the big ears, I think he turned out okay. I think he's like
Yo,
doing
we
like
had a lot of
science and shit.
that reminds me of like we had a kid named Mini Muffins.
Yeah,
That was wild.
yeah, but no, but his ears were like tiny as fuck. So like this shit was like unsettling.
What's what's one? I don't even know that dude's name.
Oh, I do. You don't remember his
I
actual
think I
name?
remember the first name. Oh,
Yeah,
I do remember.
He has
Yeah,
he
I
has a
remember.
twin.
Yeah, I don't remember. What's one movie you're embarrassed to admit you enjoy?
I'm not embarrassed by any movies I enjoy because I enjoy what I fucking enjoy. Fuck y'all. Um,
I feel like something. At least something that you like.
hey, what's like some stupid movies that we like?
That we like?
Yeah, like I don't think anything's embarrassing. I don't think anything's. Cause I like all my movies.
I would think maybe the most that others might deem embarrassing, but we don't, is Mean Girls.
No, Mean Girls. I love the fuck out of that. Let somebody say something about that. I'll slap the shit out of them.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That there's
That's a
nothing.
good movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm kind of warming up to those Twilight movies. I'm not embarrassed by it because can't nobody beat me.
And they are right,
But
They're not terrible.
they're not terrible. I think just like the stigma to it back then, it's like, oh my god, teenage angst. And now when I look back, I was like, they're fine. So let somebody say something. I'll slap the shit out of them.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything. I'll just go with one of the Fast and Furious. It's not
dude, those
great.
are fun.
I'm not
They're
embarrassed,
great.
but they're
They're
entertaining.
fantastic. You gonna see Fast X?
Hell yeah!
Like let's make it a date night, son. Let's just like go as a team. We go see Fast X. Come back and
Hell,
record
who knows
about it.
what? I mean, they
Like-
already had cars jumping from skyscraper to skyscraper.
Then they go to
Did
space.
parachuting. Oh yeah, the last one they went to space.
This is fucking
Ludacris
gross.
did. He was in space.
This is fucking ridiculous. Fuck.
There we go.
Those fucking movies are dumb. All right. So as always, everyone, thank you for listening to the show. We love y'all. Thanks for listening. Y'all got any questions, concerns, criticisms? Always feel free to reach out. You can find me at bgj.wiki on Instagram. Steve's at Thor.Bentley on Instagram. Collectively, we're at the Colompton Bear Club on Instagram. We ain't getting paid though. Apparently, BJJ Wiki ain't either because they just keep dicking me around about my money. Like, hey, Zuckerberg, where's my money?
Bitch better have my money.
Fucking right, doggy. Otherwise, yeah, we cool. We love y'all. Keep listening. We're gonna keep doing shows. Steve?
Good soup and Wu Tang is for the children.
Fucking right, doggy. Bye, bitches.